Hello, boys and girls. Hello, boys and girls. This is Romulus bringing you the next chapter two, or actually technically chapter three of Remnant's Night: Tales of the Past, the Ruin of Thornbrush. And with me, I've got uh, another new player, simply because Fia, our favorite little succubus, couldn't make it. So I'm just gonna give it a chance, everyone, to introduce themselves really quickly. Go ahead.
I'm Fake Ted. I'm the AV guy. Y'all know me.
We try not to.
Ah,
All right.
Oh.
I'm just fooling,
Oof.
man. No, I'm just
All right.
messing. Go ahead. Anybody else?
Barkit, I'm playing our artificer, Russell McLean.
Hey
Next.
guys, how y'all doing? My name is Richter. I'm here with my brother Ren, and we're going to hopefully kill some things in a mine.
Anybody else?
that's no mine. That's a tomb.
Go ahead.
Boo.
はじめ
That's a
まして、
final resting
吉岡
place.
健一です。But y'all can just call me Ken.
He's so cool. and last but most certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Jalen. I'm playing Kara, the monk. And I think you guys have seen me around as a few guest appearances and the Tuesday campaign as well, if you follow that one.
All right. So let's get to it, folks. We don't have much time. So I just want to say that if anything goes wrong, I'm currently in South Carolina. There's a big storm. My internet went out. I'm going off of the power of Verizon. Yeah, plug in for Verizon.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
And
Not a
yeah.
sponsor, just a
So
simp.
if anything goes wonky or anything gets weird, please let me know. I'll do my best to track it. But it seems like everything's fine. So I'm actually powering my webcam and everything off my phone. So pretty cool. All right, so let's get to it, folks. Let's go ahead and push us to the right channel here, to the right page. The mine.
Not about that.
Okay. So let's talk about where we're at here. So for those of you that are joining us for the first time who didn't happen to catch the last session, shame on you, first of all. We're here. They're in the mine. So the players are currently obviously the Knights Remnant, and they've been summoned to the town of Thornbrush to deal with an extreme group of druids that are not happy that this mine is being, in their eyes, plundered. Um, some of the players suspect that the druids are not happy and that they are the ones that caused basically this cave in, this collapse of the mine, and the players are having to deal with Magman. They've had to deal with swarm of rats and injured dwarves, and now they've come to discover that an earth elemental possibly could have been, or not possibly did, um, was summoned in this large gaping hole that you're seeing here. And I believe they had heard distant sounds, which were terrifying and horrible. I will play them one more time as they hear
Oh
this
no.
commotion
Ugh.
taking place. So now, please, everyone, adjust your volume again if you need to. It's the mechanical way on the upper right. You can adjust your own volume, and I'm gonna just kind of play it just for those that who missed it, and because we got disconnected very abruptly when I saw the last session. So you've got basically weapon strikes, which sounds like dwarves fighting something, and it doesn't sound like it's going very well. I'm gonna let it run for a few seconds.
Anyone say anything?
Maybe?
You guys might have to refresh.
Or
But it's all
your
good.
audios. Yeah, I hear it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in the wrong campaign right now.
That'll do it.
That'll do it, all right.
There's so many tales from the Knights Remnant. Okay, leave me alone.
No. This requires mockery.
How could you?
It does.
I'm gonna roll 1d4 psychic damage.
Okay. so
Um,
so they hear this. They literally hear this. I'm not going to keep that running. But they hear the sounds of battle taking place deeper into the mine as they start making their way to the eastern portion of the mine. With that being said, we will start right from this location. Fia, so it worked out that Lorelei had gone outside of the mine to try to interrogate the town Edler. So it kind of worked out for the better that that is what she's currently still doing, and that will be something to be done at a later time. So with that being said, we are going to continue from here, with the exception of our trusty video audio person joining us. The way I'm going to explain this is very simply said. When Lorelai made her way out of this area, um, um, is it, I believe, is it Ilya? Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
Ilya had heard the commotion taking place. And as you know, you're constantly doing caravans for the Knights Remnant, and you happen to be nearby as they had put an open call on anyone who could assist. Upon that, you make your way into the mine as you're guided in, as they recognize the symbol of the Knights Remnant upon your cloak. And with that being said, or not your cloak, whatever it is that you wear, whether it's a banner or cloak, and you make your way right to the edge of the mine as you enter. Okay. So hold on, make sure that you can see what you're supposed to be seeing. Yep. Boom,
There I am
boom.
once again.
Okay. I'm going to give you a torch because you don't have a torch. Mm, mm. And there we go. Okay. And I give you the torch symbol. Boom. Okay. So let's get to the top of the thing here. So just a reminder, you come across this large pit that's about 10 to 20 feet deep. There was a layer of gravel that was floating above it, but I believe someone had stuck their spear or something in there, and it allowed all of the um, like gravel that was just levitating on top of it sink to the bottom, and now it's just this large hole that you can clearly see.
Yeah, I poked it
It's
with a stick.
yeah, it's not uncrossable. I'll say a very simple acrobatics check can get you past it by skirting the side, or you can go the long way, much like Richter did, as he was trying to explain to you all that, hey, look, there's something going on here. With that, Richter being the farthest forward, as he's kind of like trying to show off that he's like, look, guys, you can come around this way, and
yeah,
there's a dead
I trigger
dwarf
a trap
here,
and I die. I trigger a trap and I die.
right? And across that came the oh no, yeah, here we go. uh I believe you came to the dead miner, just as a reminder. So this dead miner is seen. His body lays face down in a pool of blood, gore spilling from where something had bashed and tore open the dwarf's side. Whatever struck the killing blow seems to have hit him with tremendous amount of force from behind, perhaps as he ran away. You can easily guess he is a miner by his clothing, but the destruction upon his body is not pleasant to be seen. So we'll start off with Richter simply because he's the closest, and we'll work our way back from there. So Richter, what do you do?
Reckon I shouldn't touch this. I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else take a look at that. Definitely not because the body kind of freaks me out a little bit because I'm not the person who should be investigating the body, and I'm gonna post up sentry over here looking down this tunnel.
Okay, all right. From there, we'll go to Kenshi.
Uh, I guess I'll just look around and make sure the area is safe.
Well, okay. So you make it a point to look around, and you realize that other than the pool of blood and the mangled corpse of a dwarf, you see that the mining tunnel continues to push on to the east, where now you can clearly smell the very familiar stench of burnt flesh with the sounds of battle, which I'm not going to continue playing. It's no point in doing that. But it's off in the distance. You could still hear what sound like hammers or perhaps axes clashing against stone and metal. Something large that's like making the ground shake almost would be violently, but it is shaking. You could feel it tremble, and you could hear the rattling of dwarves off in the distance as if they're fighting an entity, a creature, which you can only assume is the earth elemental.
So
Okay.
we need to get over there quickly before the dwarves all get their faces owned by this thing.
Aye, march to the sound of the guns, as they say.
Yep. So Russell, what are you doing?
What I just bloody said. Let's go find those dwarves and see if we can help them out.
Okay, and Kara.
I'll summon Grim, and we will be moving down the tunnel 30
Yeah,
feet at a
go
time.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead and move your tokens down that tunnel until you get to the very first chamber.
Well, that's 15 feet. I gotta slide on over.
Okay, I just noticed Kara's. Oh, that she's in the group. Okay, yeah. Kara, do you have anything you want to say or do?
Yeah, no, I was hopping over.
Okay.
Do
All
I need
right.
to make an acrobatics or?
If you want to go over, yeah, just go ahead
Yeah.
and make an acrobatics roll.
Oh, right, I
And
needed to do
and
that.
and oh yeah, go ahead and move your token all the way up to the pit, or I can do it
Okey-doke.
for you. It's fine. I can do it for you if you want.
Ah, thank you.
Boom.
Does a 9 work?
It does. That's exactly what you needed. That is an easy
Jesus.
feat. And yeah, that's an easy feat. So it wasn't hard. You had a few inches. So think of it as like having a nice sledge. That it's not meant as a trap. It was just that's kind of where it was born, and so it's really easy to cross.
Mhm.
Aye.
That's when you see a light behind you, Kara, and you're like, "Whoa, someone's in this mine with you." You could hear his footsteps as he makes no attempt to to remain hidden or be quiet, and you're wondering who's coming around the bend of the mine. And fortunately, um, you have, in fact, this character has met that character before, and you realize that you have dealt with him uh, with this, or I'm sorry, you have not. Getting my timelines messed up. I'm sorry. So you see before you, and I'll let Oya describe himself. Go ahead.
Uh, just an introduction, or do you want a character description as well?
Just a short, quick description so that so we can all
Uh,
visualize it.
about like 6'4", white buff dude. Wearing very light clothing, no armor of any sort. Like a pelt wrapped around his waist, and some wrappings on his fist.
There you go.
Like
And
blonde hair, blue eyes.
we'll say that he has something from the Knights Remnant, a symbol, perhaps an amulet or an armband, or perhaps a tattoo. I don't know, whatever it is that he's comfortable with here. Do you want to pick something?
Yeah, like
A ring, maybe?
yeah, a ring. A ring works.
Yeah, so you have like you have like a signet ring of the Knights Remnant, which is kind of dented from your fist smashing against people's faces, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you clearly see this, Kara, and you see he's and instead you were hoping it would be Lorelei, but instead it's Ilya. Now Ilya, we'll say that you ran into Lorelei, who obviously you saw was caught up in dealing with the interrogation and the abuse of the Edler, and she sort of ignored you and said, if you want to help, go into the mine. So she kind of directs you sort of to go into the mine, and I'll
Gotcha.
leave it for you to role play for a second. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hello, my friend. I am from Knights Guild, Knights Remnant. You are also Knights Remnant, yeah? Da?
Yes, we are.
I was sent in here by your comrade to assist.
It's good. And then we can use all the help we can get. We've heard of a stone elemental or golem?
Elemental.
Elemental. Stone
You're assuming.
elemental.
Yeah.
Or assuming anyway. We've heard of something
Oh.
that is something very large, very rock-like.
An elemental, huh? Seems quite dangerous. I'm glad I can be of assistance.
I'm sure we could use your help.
Excellent. Now, where, how do I get across this pit?
You're just gonna have to jump.
Okay.
Across the
I'm
ledge.
gonna
You see,
try and.
crossing it the long way would be rather difficult. You're better off following the sledge, which is pretty big. It's about a foot ledge, so it's fairly easy. You need a 9 or greater to cross it.
Acrobatics, you said?
Yep.
Bam.
Yeah, you easily cross that. To you, it's like an old child's trick.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I've made it across the pit. Now let us find the elemental.
Okay. Go ahead and push your tokens with the rest of the tokens.
Richter has taken cover and he is stopping anyone from passing him. Where I was a second ago, I could see it.
Okay.
So Richter has taken cover behind this alcove.
Richter, my lad, did you see something?
Definitely. Or God damn it. Yeah, there's definitely something a little bit further on down in the tunnel.
Okay. I'm about to
Mike?
describe that. I'm
Perfect.
about to describe that scene to you. Go ahead and position yourselves anywhere you want, as long as you don't go past this area here. So you can put yourselves anywhere you want in the chamber or anywhere in the map, as long as you don't go past this square here, right? To signify, and I'm about to describe everything to you in a second here. So
Sorry if I ruined something for you, Ray.
no, what? No, what did you? There's nothing to ruin. No, it's fine.
No.
It's no issues. It's not meant to be hidden for a reason. I'm about to describe everything to you. Give me 1 second here. Layer, boom. Okay. You're at number 6. Okay, so here's what you see. As you enter this large chamber down the mining cavern, you step inside a rather smoky, earth-smelled worked hide. I'm sorry. Stepping inside this chamber, the earthy smell of worked hide greets your nose. The small, cavernous chamber houses dozens of racks, each holding a different kind of protective gear. Along one wall rest sets of sleek leather armor. In others, some reinforced with thick iron studs, while along another stands proud plate mail suits of dwarven make. And this is the inspiration for it all. In that same area, as you look into it, you find another torn apart dwarf that's been ripped from limb to limb. His limbs are just scattered about the room, almost as if he fought to defend the very armor that you assume he's created, as by the look of his hands, the look of he looks stronger, he's bigger, no doubt an armor smith or a blacksmith. You can notice the fire of his pyre is just not like empty coals that are barely lit. You see another fire pit that you had noticed from the beginning entrance of the mine, and then off in the distance you notice a sinkhole. The earth vanishes into a circular pit that's just big enough to swallow a full-sized man. You move carefully, watching your footing on the slippery surface, when suddenly a gout of water begins to erupt before you that soaks everything in the chamber with a light rain of mist. And this is sort of my envision for you to envision it there and see it. So, first things first, I need everyone to make a history roll. If you have Outlander, if you have something like Sage, a scholarly background, you may roll it with advantage.
Nice.
Roll what? If you have, does Hermit count for that?
Hermit does would count for that, yes.
Okay, and what are we rolling?
21.
History.
History. Got it. You said it with advantage if we have that?
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Ooh, okay. So everyone actually made it. So you realize that this sinkhole is done, no doubt, through dwarven craftsmanship. It is an escape hole. In the event that there's a cave-in or a mine collapses, it's meant to be used as an emergency entrance or exit to get to survivors. There usually tends to be 2 of them. An easily accessible one to the nearest chamber, probably across this side of the wall, and then there's usually a much more complex tunnel that is usually attached to a sinkhole for those professional tunnel rats and rescue teams that have to go in to get individuals. As you approach this side here into this chamber, you also hear that no doubt right around this corner, if you had to guess, is another 40-50 feet around the tunnel. You're sure you'll run into whatever that sound is coming from. Again, the sound is quite frightening. It sounds like something made of rock is just slamming into the ground as it shakes. You can literally feel that whatever it is that's hitting the ground, it's just shaking your feet. It trembles, and you can hear the dwarf screaming off in the distance, right around that corner. So, with that being said, I'm going to go from deepest into the room to the outside of the room. So, oh yeah, you're first. What do you do?
Oh, this man looks like he's been ripped apart. He
No,
has
really.
he has many wounds on him. I have to imagine he was defending something. Is can I inspect that sinkhole?
Yes, go ahead and move your
Okay,
token
cool,
over
cool.
there and make an investigation roll.
Okay. Uh, Investigation, you said?
Yep. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Then we go to Richter.
Richter pulls out his bag of gunpowder, alchemical fire, and ball
Oh,
bearings.
I'm glad you reminded me. Here, I created that for you, as I said I would. Sorry about that. I should have came out with that. It would probably put a really big smile on your face. Um,
That's okay. We can see it now.
Hold on. Where the hell did I put it?
Where will it pop up?
Um, did I not put it in here? Maybe I didn't put it in here. Hold on. Oh, bad GM. Hold on. Yeah, where the hell did I put it? Did I put it in the wrong game? I didn't put it in the wrong game, did I? Hold on. You know what? Okay, hold on. All right, I'll get back to it. So yeah, I
That's
have the
cool.
stats for it. You know what? I think I have it on D&D Beyond. But okay, so let's keep going. So what are you doing?
Maybe like, I'm pretty sure. God damn it! You had to do the one accent that I slip into the most easily. Ilya. Richter is going to look at the rest of the group and say, "All right, now I'm pretty sure I can at least put a dent in it. Do we want to take our chances, or do we want to go through the runaway hole?"
Okay. With that being said, I will let Russell go ahead, Russell.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be going down any smaller hole while this thing's still around, smashing up the walls and maybe collapsing in the ceiling on us. Let's take care of the big bugger first.
I did put it in the wrong game. That's funny. Let me grab it for you right now. It's funny I put it in the wrong game. Okay.
Any
And go ahead if anyone wants to respond to that, please. You're welcome to.
I'm with Russell. We need to move before those dwarves die.
Alright.
Well, you have to protect the people. It is the job. I agree. Let's go.
All right.
Kara, you're the only one who's not voiced an opinion. Any thoughts?
Uh, no, I agree. We should go try and save those doors.
Alright, we have an accord. Tally ho, lads and lass.
There it is.
Nice.
It is
That's
the
what it is.
bomb.
Nice.
For
All
the
right.
record, grenades were in use very, very early on. That's why the term grenadiers entered service throughout the 14 into the early 1600s. However, projectiles at that time actually weighed about 8 times what a modern hand grenade does. So you can imagine that they didn't throw the bloody things very far.
I definitely believe that. Yeah, it was mostly clay pots filled with gunpowder, wasn't it?
You just drop it
Yeah,
at
and
their
Something
feet and
similar.
run away.
Yeah.
sometimes yes.
And knowing is half the battle, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So
Indeed.
Richter's gonna
Yeah,
move.
the 100-meter sprint is the other half.
Okay.
20. We're gonna go 20 feet to start. Ah,
Okay. Everyone, go ahead and move your tokens anywhere you like at this point now, because you'll come to a dead end. So again, I want to stress that there's all types of armors here, dwarven plate. There's all types of tools. There's the dead body. There's the fire sinkhole. There's the water sinkhole. And then as you kind of circle around, you see dust begins to fall from the top as you come across this large, and there it goes. That was a little slow. And I'm about to describe that scene to you in a second. Um, The clash at arms can be heard throughout the mine, intermixed with screamed battle cries and the moans of the dying. The potent scent of spilled blood wafts into your nostrils, overwhelming, as if one had spilled several barrels of blood within a crowded room. Insects and other scavengers have already begun feasting on the gore from open wounds on both the dead and even the still dying. Too weak to protest, and yet the dwarves, fully armed, struggle to carry on against the onslaught from the large earth elemental. And this is literally what you see. You see these miners with these large, huge picks trying to
I know that
defend
picture.
themselves. What's that?
I know that picture. That's 6th edition Warhammer Dwarf Armies book.
Hell yeah. Thank you. You know what? Kudos to you. And don't forget, someone here's got an inspiration point too.
Yep.
Um,
Give him
okay,
another
so
one.
let me let me describe the wonderful earth elemental to you all. Okay. Each thunderous step seems to rock the ground itself as this large entity moves about the tight chamber. The beast is composed of heavy chunks of stone, stray branches, and the occasional piece of quartz. Two heavy stone legs lead to a massive angular midsection. Bits of grass and other plants stick out of the gaps in the monstrous earthen body. Slates of rock jammed together tightly to make up a rough-hewn face with a jagged mouth of stone. Its thick arms slams into the ground, cracking the stone below as it raises its maw into the air and releases a deep roar. As it's just pounding down on the dwarves, that the dwarves do their best to avoid its crushing arms. The booming sound is accompanied by the sharp hiss of scattering gravel as it rains down from the beast's body. And this is what you see. You can clearly see that it has a green banner sticking out of the top of its head, and stepping outside of that, out of its head, that banner, it looks just like this. Okay, give me one more second. Okay, let me describe a few other things here to you. Um, so disorganized today. Hold on. Close this. Let me close that. Close that. Perfect. Okay. Um, the dwarven guards. The dwarven guard stands out stout and sturdy with broad shoulders, a barrel chest, and fist-like hammers. Their hair is gray, while its beard hangs below its belt. A streak of silver, like a vein of precious metal, splits its beard down its center. Lightly armored with a breastplate, gauntlet, and greaves of copper, the dwarf hefts its massive picks that seem to radiate with the shimmering heat of a forge. So let me explain the scene to you, GM to players, as you're seeing it now. So some of you can see into the room, some of you cannot, depending where you're positioned in the chamber. So you have this large earth elemental here. He is large, as you can see. You notice the two dwarven blacksmith bodyguards, sort of guards, defending against the earth elemental. Several earth miners that are also scattered about, and you hear them screaming, and you can hear that horrible cackling laugh from one of the very magmen that you had fought earlier in the mine that seems to be terrorizing them on the opposite end of that chamber that some of you cannot see. So with that, everyone, please roll initiative. Be sure to click on your token, please.
And I cannot roll high when it comes to initiative.
I have to reload my
Dude, really? The
my
5?
character sheet.
3 as well.
I got you
Everyone
guys all
feels bad
beat.
about my 12, but it's
Oh, dude,
Uh,
Kenichi.
There we go.
Natural 1, baby.
We love natty ones.
Kenichi stops to watch the dust falling from the ceiling. It reminds him of the cherry blossoms in spring. No, I've not yet.
There's a butterfly in the middle of a cave.
Kenichi runs off to chase it.
Sits down and plays with his cat for an hour, you know?
That's how you get a 3 initiative.
Oh, there's a fight going on, guys. But I have a cat in my lap.
Sorry.
Hey, that'd be a legitimate excuse.
It would be.
Okay, there it is.
I can cast
So-
spells with a cat in my lap.
And the quote of the day: I can cast spells with the cat in my lap.
Okay.
Okay. So the
I now
Magman.
want to play this wizard. He goes everywhere stroking a cat, and the cat is his arcane focus.
That'd be cool. The Magman, basically you could hear the sounds of flames, of roaring flames. You can smell something burning and the black smoke that is filling the cavern. And this Magman shoots forward to get past one of the wagons that the miners are trying to defend themselves with, and attacks the miner. Killing the miner instantly as he's emblazoned on fire by the Magman's touch. You hear these horrible, horrible echoing screams from a dwarf that just and you see kind of like it, some of you, particularly Grim, Richter, Ilya, and Russell, might see him running on fire. You catch him here as he collapses on the ground dead in flames.
Ooh.
Okay. The Earth Elemental goes next. The Earth Elemental ignores you all as it's focused on. You're not exactly sure what it's focused on, as it sort of ignores you and just tries to push into the cavern that the miners are preventing him from doing so. And he decides that he's going to strike down on one of the dwarven blacksmiths. Here it goes. He hits. Actually, he misses. I'm sorry. And then, so you just see its fist come up, comes down, it shakes the ground. The dwarf manages to barely dodge, as the dwarf miners are wearing chainmail and have great picks, great axes actually. And then the other fist comes down on the other dwarven and hits him for 19 damage, killing him. You just see his body come striking down. This huge earth elemental just, and almost like a nail into dirt, just sinks him into the ground. His arms flail upward as he just continues pounding him onto the ground, as the thing almost gets joy from killing the miners. The dwarf smiths go next. They go on dodge. Ilya, your turn.
All right. I will move and attack the elemental. Uh, 20 hit.
Does the 20 hit? Yes, it does.
All right. Do 7 bludgeoning. And let's
Oh, no.
add a superiority die and try and grapple.
Okay.
That'll be an athletics check.
Okay, here goes mine.
Plus a d8.
You can still beat him if you roll an 8.
What are the odds, you know?
Actually, you would tie.
You would tie.
Ties
Yeah.
to
He
the
would-
Oh,
defender.
it's
but
a
the
it's a
aggressor
loss
always
either way.
wins.
Yeah, so don't
No,
bother.
the
So
defender
basic-
wins.
And it
yeah,
wins.
defender wins, correct. So
Sure.
you basically try to tackle and wrestle with this person, and unfortunately the earth elemental is just too strong, as it just kind of ignores you. It's like a child grabbing onto an adult, and it's just kind of pulling you with it, doing whatever it wants. But you damage him. You're hitting him with your fist. Piece of rubble goes flying off, but you realize that your attacks, are they magical? Yes or no?
They are. My fists
They
count as
are.
magical.
Okay. Let me subtract an additional. And you realize that the creature does wail in very little pain. At least what sounds like a wail is it just sounds like crumbling rock. As it just kind of realizes that you have a magical weapon trying to injure it. Anything else?
No, except for me lamenting the fact that I could have raged and gotten advantage on that roll.
That's okay.
Next turn, you know. That'll be it for me.
Okay. Russell.
Okay, it needs to be magic damage. Ilya's kind of blocking the at 8. Just gonna move up a wee bit closer and see if I can't tag the beastie with firebolt.
Okay. His armor class is improved by 2 due to Oya providing cover.
Okay.
And you still strike it.
All right.
Barely, but you strike it.
7 damage. Magical damage, because that seems to matter.
Correct. You strike it with its firebolt, and again, pieces of rubble just kind of burn off and scratch off of it. And you're like, oh man, it isn't good, right? You guys can see its green circle. It's not hasn't even changed color. That's how hardy and how tough this creature is. But your firebolt damages it, and it kind of for a second notices you. But again, it continues to drive forward to the best of its ability. Russell, what else do you do?
Moved up and cast a spell. That's my turn.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, Richter.
Richter's doing something funky. He has the firebomb, but Ilya's in the way. He's just made this on a whim. He's not an alchemist. He doesn't know what it does. So he doesn't want to hurt Ilya or cause a cave in. So he is going to move forward to here, pulling out his pythons. He's going to use Tavern Brawler to try and drive a python into a crack in the armor, then take that hammer he picked up earlier and drive the python home.
Okay, so that's very cool. It's very unique. So I will let you make an attack at disadvantage.
I have Tavern Brawler. Can I do that with the
Yes,
python
you can.
first?
Yes,
Is it still at disadvantage?
it is.
Okay.
I'm treating it sort of as like a sort
Whoa!
of
Whoa!
Okay then.
All right.
roll damage.
That was at disadvantage, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but you rolled
Unfortunately.
a nat 20 and a
Roll
26.
natural 20 and a dirty 20. I mean, come on. All right,
So
good.
is this one attack or is this 2 attacks?
That's one attack.
Okay. So what do I roll for damage?
Just hit the one with the 26.
Okay.
Okay. Is this a magical attack?
No, it's a pit and a hammer.
Okay, but I'm gonna say that due to the type of it's made to go through rock. I'll say that you're able to penetrate it as so its damage resistance will not go in effect, so it gets the full 7 damage.
And I will
Okay,
use my second attack to just slam down on that Tavern Brawler.
I will give you advantage for that attack.
Okay. Again, I'm just using a hammer, but it's not the light hammer, I don't think, so I'm pretty sure it's still an improvised weapon.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no, I rolled damage on accident.
Yep,
That's damage.
that's fine. Just roll a hit. It's fine with advantage. That's a natural
Great.
20. Wow. So, yep,
Dude.
11. Awesome. Okay. So, like I said, you see Richter just kind of reaches for a pin, and you're like, what the hell's he going to do with that? He runs at it, grabs his hammer, basically just with his full brute strength, pounds into the pike, into the creature. The creature kind of screams. Again, it doesn't make sound. Its sound of screaming is nothing but the gravel falling off of it. Ah! And then he grabs a hammer and digs the pike all the way in. The creature swings, he manages to duck, and the creature's just like in an immense amount of pain with this pike. Okay, so you no longer get advantage to attacking it, because I think it's very unique and very cool that you did that. I'm going to lower the armor class of the creature by 1. So the creature's armor class is now 16 instead of 17.
All right. And then
Round of
to you,
applause.
so basically, the way it's explained is that this pike is stuck in there, and it cracked open a little bit of stone, and then you, as players, are sort of targeting that area that was left by Richter, right?
Alrighty.
Which
And
is
then
why its
I'll-
armor class is reduced by 1.
expend one of my points to unleash incarnation,
Okay.
and Grim will attack with the great axe he picked up earlier, or we picked
Alright.
up earlier.
Okay. Where's that where you're gonna put him? Right where he is there?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't think that hits.
Nope.
Unless he counts as flanking.
Again, it's not. It does not. It does.
Oh, so roll again?
Yep.
Awesome.
Still not enough. It's not that the creature's agile. It's just that it's made of rock. The axe just kind of deflects off of it like a hard shell, just denting it a little, but doing no significant other than cosmetic damage. Is that it?
That is my turn.
Hey, Kara.
All right, Kara is going to move her full 30 feet to the. Can I actually scooch in there at all, or is there not enough room?
There is no room.
Okay, well that's fine. Because I can attack
Now,
at 10 feet.
hold on. There are ways to get past it. You can do what's called tumbling, and you can tumble through, but it still grants attacks of opportunity.
No,
so
it's I can reach it at 10 feet.
Okay. What are you gonna? Oh yeah, you're gonna do the
yeah.
tattoo
I'm
thing,
going
right?
to use my my bonus action to summon my arms of the astral self again because it's been more than a minute.
Very cool.
Or actually, has it been 10 minutes since we last fought that other thing?
It has not. You can only cast that once per day, but it lasts 10 minutes, so it's not been 10 minutes.
I can cast it more than once per day.
It is still active.
It's just still active, yeah.
Yeah, it's still active.
Okay, cool. Then instead, my bonus action will be the tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just claw tattoo. I'll display it. It's a very long display.
Yeah, see,
why is it so spaced out?
I don't know.
It's just because of the format.
It's the tattoo format, yeah.
Yeah, it's the tattoo format. Yeah, so once you use this bonus action, can't be used again until the next dawn. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if it hasn't been used more than it hasn't been more than 10 minutes, I still have my astral arms up. So
correct.
And then this extends my reach to 15 feet.
It does.
And an extra 1d6 force damage.
Metagaming at its finest, folks.
I'm not metagaming, I'm just listing the stats.
Or power gaming. Okay.
I guess.
No, that's great. No, nothing wrong with it. I encourage it, people. I encourage metagaming and power gaming, all right?
Doubt.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I will just make 2 strikes as my action. Use the astral self, so it's gonna be 2d6 plus 3. So it'll be plus 12 misses, 21 hits.
Hits, yeah.
So I gotta roll this. 4 plus an extra. I rolled a 1 on that. Wow. I rolled 1 damage. I'm not you kidding. And then I gotta roll an extra d6 for it.
Yep.
Okay. I got a 4. I'll roll it in roll 20. Actually, I should have done that instead of D&D Beyond.
Correct. Well, I mean, it should have came up though. That's really weird.
It didn't come up,
too.
but
I don't think rolling
too.
regular dice.
No, it does not.
Okay, so again, you see Kara tries to push up and realizes that like everyone's jammed into this tight little cavern, but you know she always has a way. You see the astral arms project, the tattoos, the ink tattoos wrap around her arm and then just kind of extend as like with her astral projection as this like claw, this dragon tattoo claw just extends from her, goes in between Richter and Ilya and strikes the earth elemental, knocking chunks of stone as the creature now realizes that you guys are doing significant damage to it, and it now takes notice of all of you. What else are you doing, Kara?
I think that's just the 6 force damage. That's all I can do at this point.
Hey, can she?
But that's okay.
Don't you get like 2 attacks and then a bonus action attack or something?
I missed my first attack. The bonus action was to activate the tattoo.
Correct.
Oh, right.
Yep. So yeah.
So how tall is this thing?
This thing is about 10 feet tall, and the roof goes about 20 feet high.
So everybody that's in front of me is maybe about 6 feet tall max or so?
Yeah, sure.
So that means it's got to be, like about 4 feet above them. So if I just aim for the head, there should be no line of sight issues, right?
Okay, so technically, yes, you're right, but this is a rule. This is a game with rules, and unfortunately, anything that could block a possible line of sight as you're engaging the target counts as cover. So its armor class would be improved by 2 regardless.
Okay, well, I'll take that as long as I don't have a chance of shooting my allies in the back.
No, this is not a homebrew rule. That's a dumb rule. We don't do that. Yeah, no, we're following rules here. So you're good. You don't have to worry about. There's no 0% chance of injuring your friends unless you maybe roll a 1 and we're doing something for the coolness factor
Or maybe if you casted Fireball.
or something like that. Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
realized
you
I
know, I was
rolled
just
both of
thinking if
my
I
attacks with the wrong modifier.
Fireball.
It's fine.
if I just threw a fireball like right at this thing, it could kill everybody but me.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I don't have fireball, but I know shatter. That's got a 10-foot radius sphere.
You don't have a hair in your
That is
ass. I
excellent
dare you.
thought.
I double dog dare
I'm not
you.
gonna do that.
DM wants
Totally not gonna do
TPK.
that.
Okay.
This is what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna hex this thing, hexing
Oh.
its strength, so it can't grapple for shit from now on.
Thank
Okay, it's
you.
a disadvantage.
And then I'm going to cast.
Solid.
That's a hit for 5 damage.
Actually, I also get a D6 necrotic.
That's right.
That's my first shot. I get 2 of these.
Mm-hmm. Good level. Remind me to add that damage into your thing next time, so you don't have to roll twice like that. Okay.
I guess a
That
12 misses.
okay. That a 12 misses. So your first, so Kenji, he like hexes that thing. So I'll let you explain how your hex goes about, Kenji. Go ahead. How does it
So-
affect it? What's the visualization, the component, all that?
I figure this thing is glowing kind of from the inside. Is that right?
Correct.
So I figure like some Onibi kind of like spirit flame
Ooh.
gathers around my hand as I etch a sigil into the air, and then the glowing inside the elemental just kind of dims a little bit. It moves a little slower.
Very cool. It's like, and then your Eldritch Blast comes, strikes at the first one, and the second one just deflects harmlessly off its thick hide. Anything else, Kenshi?
No, I think I'm gonna just stand right here.
Okay. The Magman shoots forward to attack the miner. And kills him.
Oof.
Again, you see the miner scream horribly as he catches fire, runs and collapses and dies there. The Magman then continues to move forward to the behind them, the dwarven miner. The earth elemental, now seeing it surrounded and you guys are doing significant damage, will do an area attack. It will do Thunderous Maul on Richter, on Grim, and Ilya as well. Here is my attack. I don't think I hit anyone with a walloping. I can't believe I rolled a 12. Really? A 12?
Oof.
I'm at +7, +8.
You
and I
rolled a
12.
4.
Did I hit anyone with a 12 armor class of those
No.
3 people? Yeah. So this creature just kind of comes up with both of its fists and it comes down and it shakes the ground, but you're all able to avoid its shock waves of damage. A little bit of rock hits you, a little bit of dirt makes you cough. But other than that, no injury is taken. That's its turn. The dwarf basically engages the Magman to the best of his ability, doing the best he can to attack and defend himself. And kills it.
Does he?
Oh no, he doesn't. He injures it. Almost kills it. He strikes. You just see him yelling in Dwarven. He strikes it with his great axe. And the Magman, you see the Magman flares up in anger, and is seriously injured, but survives. Oh yeah.
I'm going to take my bonus action to rage.
Okay.
And we're going to attack the earth elemental.
All right.
Oh god, did I just mess up the... I just did. I'm so sorry, I'll change that back.
That sucks.
Okay.
Really sucks.
So you go again. It's not that you're missing the creature. Your fists are literally just pounding into solid rock. Your fist comes, hits it, a little bit of dust flies off, and the creature almost laughs at you if it could.
I'm going to shit on that thing next turn.
Do you only get one attack?
Yeah,
fifth
yeah,
level?
yeah. I only
He's
get one.
multi-classed, yeah.
Multi-classed.
Okay, that's right.
All
Okay,
right.
just want to make sure.
That'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, Russell.
Alright, well, I'm a wee bit annoyed with this magmen trying to kill the dwarves we're trying to save. I think the great big rock beastie's a wee bit more focused on us than the stompies. So I'm going to cast Magic Missile and send 2 at the magmen and 1 at the great big golem.
Go ahead and roll.
Alright, so
You hit
one,
with the first magic missile. It collides and explodes. It creates a death burst. Here goes his saving throw, and he succeeds and takes half damage. Takes 4. He survives though. The thing explodes in flames, and this dwarf kind of covers himself with his great armor and his axe, and he survives through the flame. He's like, oh. Now you have 2 magic missiles left. Where do you want them to go?
Okay, well, my understanding was they happen simultaneously, but if I can, I'll redirect them both back at that golem.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So basically, you're shooting the magic missile. The first one hits it, it blows up, and then you can redirect the magic missiles wherever you want. 3. Okay. And go ahead and roll for 1 more magic missile.
I thought I rolled for both of them. 2 and 3.
You get 3 magic missiles. You spend. Oh, I see. No, I see.
Yeah. One to
Okay.
the
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So 5 total
Okay.
on the
Yep.
critter.
So again, you redirect the 2 magic missiles, and that hits the creature, right? As magic missile always hits. The creature now seems rather annoyed and rather upset at all of you for keeping it from doing its command, its bid, what it was sent here to do, and that's to kill every single miner in this cavern. Anything else, Russell?
Well, it's an elemental. It's not like I can insult the bloody thing. Doesn't speak a civilized tongue, now does it? So
It certainly does.
I'm fine where I am.
Okay, Richter.
I'm still benefiting from flanking here, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm about to make 6 attacks against this thing, expending
Okay.
3 constitution points and action surging.
Ooh, okay, let's go one at a time.
Get him, laddie.
Here we go.
All right, let me go ahead and mark those off real quick. I'll do it in a minute. So this is with the axe that I picked up at the beginning of the dungeon.
Okay, the 21 hits. Go ahead and roll
All right.
damage. All right.
I am hurting things.
Okay, so the 21. Hold on. Okay, so go ahead
I got
and
a 22, a 21, and a 21.
Yep, go ahead. Roll damage for each. Anything above a 16 hits.
Well, no, these are all at advantage. These are
Yeah,
just
they're
ones.
advantage
Yeah. Oh,
attacks
no,
for
that's
3.
what I'm saying. Yeah. So 14, 10. Okay, I see it. Boom. So when you strike with the axe, you realize that the axe is quite nimble, and unbeknownst to you, you realize that the great axe is made of adamantite, and adamantite counts as a magical weapon. So you're able to strike it for full damage.
Okay. Is this thing dead, or do I need to go ahead and action surge to do my other 3 attacks?
Hold on. Let me subtract all the damage.
And I'm just laying into its legs.
All right,
Hoping to
creature's
chop
still
it
up.
off at the knee. All right, then I am action surging.
Okay.
Oh, those ones miss. 22 hits. Ooh, that's
12
a
and
big hit.
16. Damn.
The creature, you just see Richter go berserk as he's just swinging this great axe with incredible speed, strength, and agility. It looks like he's carving a piece of ham, right? Rock just goes tumbling everywhere, rocks but the creature is still like there. If there was sympathy for the creature, it would be now. But I'm pretty sure you guys don't have any for it. But the creature is just like staggering. It's almost like grabbing onto rock. You see that it's having trouble holding its physical form, but it's still standing there.
Yeah.
Somehow survived the onslaught from Richter.
What in Gorbachev?
It's Richter and Grim just tag teaming this thing, swapping out
Yep.
attacks constantly.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Kara.
All right. I'll actually roll with the proper modifier this time instead of my dex and strength. I'll roll with my fucking wisdom. Because I messed that up last time.
I know that's what the astral things do. Go ahead.
Yep. And I will. Fuck. I don't think I can spend. Okay, I'll just make a second attack.
There you
Okay. Okay, so that's that. And it'll be 1d6 plus 6.
Ooh.
Plus another d6 plus 4.
Oh, you almost got it.
I will spend 1 key point to make flurry of blows.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
My last key point, dude.
Yeah,
23.
get him.
It is. Okay.
So 23 hits then.
Roll damage.
7 and an extra d6 is 10.
You just see, again, her little astral projection comes out with the tattoo, and she just, and due to the flurry of attacks from Richter and the flurry attacks from Kara, they end with Richter's help topple the entire creature. It just crumbles. It looks like a statue that's crumbling, and just kind of lands on the ground. And the dwarf, still covered in smoke and a little bit of flames as it's extinguishing himself, sees you and it speaks very rough common, and it says, "Thank you, you saved us all." And he almost collapses from exhaustion as he pushes slightly forward.
What
What do you all do as the initiative ends? What
Richter
do
will
you
go ahead and climb over this thing's body. And he'll dismiss Grim.
Okay.
Ara would actually like to sift through the earth elemental's body, roll the remains of it.
Okay, hold on.
I want my Titan back. If you'd give that back to me,
Yeah,
it
I'll
would be
toss
much
it back to
appreciated.
him.
Thank you. I feel like that was actually quite useful.
All right, is the I'd like to move up and assess.
Go ahead,
Is this
put
dwarf?
yourselves. I'm going to open the map for everyone. There's no point in keeping it dark now since we're done with this level here. So bear with me here. Boom.
Oh boy.
Oh, is this guy alive?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Hold on. I got to put some of the miners. Hold on.
Ilia's just gonna stand there slack-jawed. Or watching
Okay.
that elemental get brutally murdered in the span of 12
So
seconds.
let me describe the scene to you. This chamber here, as you see, number 8. All right. Number 7. The opening mine cavern serves as a storehouse for collected goods. Tall stacks of crates, piled casks, several types of ore, rolls of fabric, gold and silver bars, and other items have been organized along the length of the wall. The stone jagged floor seems to have been etched with rectangles, each assigned a letter and a number, apparently part of a management system. There must be a logbook somewhere that records all the extremely valuable items you see before you. So again, as you're seeing here, you're seeing ore, you're seeing gold, you're seeing silver, you're seeing several expensive mining supplies, and then a bunch of pikes and hooks, and then that's where you kind of see where one of the sinkholes was, right? And you see all the miners sort of kind of come out, and they were kind of being protected by this group, and they see you. Now, sticking out to you is the banner uh, that was like wrapped around the Earth Elemental's head. So just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to go from as I'm looking at the Discord from top left to right. So um, actually, I go from left to right as I'm seeing on roll 20. So Kara, what do you do?
Sifting through the earth elemental's body, seeing if there's anything valuable in it. Like, I don't
Okay.
know.
So you're kind of shifting through the rubble, and you do find the banner, and then you also find a diamond.
Ooh.
It seems to be a finely crafted diamond within it.
Ara's gonna pocket that.
Yep. Milk, your turn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a moment to compose myself, pulling myself out of a rage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk over and talk to the dwarf miners.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll give you a turn. What do you want to say to them?
Hello, my friends. Are you okay? Do you have any injuries?
They have little bruises from the cave-ins that had happened around the mine, but they don't seem seriously injured, other than the one that was burned. he uh, he kind of seems to be the leader, right? 'Cause he's the most experienced, the one fighting for them, and he speaks very little common. And he says,
I speak Dwarvish.
"Oh, okay. What do you want to say in Dwarvish?
Finally, supposed to storage.
What
Uh,
do you?
hello, my.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's it. That's basically it.
Okay. He says, "Oh," uh, he goes, "an educated man," right? When he hears you speak in Dwarven, and then he says, uh, thank Clagadin's armor. You've come to save us." He goes, "This entity, this elemental came and took everything, everything. It's destroyed the mine, the entrance. It will take months for us to dig deeper into this mine."
Yes, about it. I heard from comrade outside this mine is supposed to be new, huh? How come you are so deep already?
We uncovered a chamber. It allowed us to dig deeper in. There were some bones laid about. It was some type of graveyard. We rid of all the bones as quickly as possible so we could dig into the mine deeper and pull its deposits and ores. That is what we do. And that is why we've come.
You took the bones from the graveyard and you got rid of them. You don't
They're
think
worthless. They're
you,
worthless.
no, I myself like gems and jewels, but graveyard is holy place. No,
Duh,
you cannot
ridiculous. He
you
goes,
cannot
human
desecrate.
traditions which do not concern us.
Uh,
Richter.
Richter will first hear Ilya conversing with the dwarves in Dwarvish and
Mhm.
tell them, let them know that, or sorry, you better let them know they only have about 2 hours to get their shit and get before this whole place floods.
I'm gonna respond in comment. What? We only have 2 hours?
Or less, unless they can stop up the leakage. But I'm gonna head on over here and collect a couple of gold bars.
Okay, yeah, there's literally like gold bars. The gold bars are each worth 100 gold. They're like small slivers, right? They're not
Okay.
like actual gold bars. So you can grab like so we'll say that you get 100 gold coins per bar, which weighs 1 pound.
All right, I'll
So
be slightly
I'll just
more
grab like a
informative.
handful, so like 5 pounds. Okay.
Be a little
Okay,
bit more informative than Richter was.
Parkid, Barson or
Yeah.
Barkid. What do you do?
Um, just be a little more informative. Just say, I tell them that in the northwest corner of the mine, there's a leak. This whole place is going to flood here in a few hours if they kind of stop it up. So he either needs to get work on that or get his lads out of here.
Assuming you relay something similar to that.
Yes, my comrade tells me that in northwest corridor there is hole leaking water. If you not get there in 2 hours to patch it up, I'm afraid you'll be swimming with the fishes.
When you say that, he looks at the other miners, and it looks like he's spouting instructions as all the miners kind of like start grabbing picks and grabbing equipment in a frantic, wanting to save the mine. Kenshi.
So,
You see
combat
panic.
ended.
All the dwarves are running around, right, grabbing tools and stuff, bladders and stuff like
Quick interjection, I look to Barkit and say, they're going to your mom's place.
that. Go ahead, Kenshi.
So combat ended before I actually got to cast this, but I was gonna. It's supposed to be a healing word. It won't let me change it over, but
Oh no, that's fine.
I would have healed the
The
blacksmith
burn.
one who was
Okay.
fighting,
Okay. So
and then after that, I'm gonna go and try to load up my pack with as many gold bars as I can carry.
Richter will actually follow Ken's example and begin grabbing more than 5.
So you realize that this isn't like a salvage. When you start reaching for gold bars, some of the dwarves do see you grabbing them, and they feel like they should say something, but they don't because you rescued them. You realize that this isn't salvage. This is like property. You're stealing someone's property.
All right, then I will constrict myself to a handful.
We ain't stealing nothing. We're gonna help them evacuate this stuff. This place is gonna be underwater.
You're making the excellent. You know what? You make a pretty good point, Ken. You make a pretty good point. I just pick up the box.
Why do you keep copying my exit?
You know what? I'm a people pleaser. It's very difficult for me not to imitate.
You remind me of my babushka. Horrible old lady. Eldritch horror.
Sounds like she was a frightening woman. I'm proud to remind you of her.
Okay.
Indeed.
With that, as you guys are all kind of like doing your thing, you see all the dwarves. You heal that one guy, and the one that you heal, Kenshi, right? As you're like healing him, he realizes you didn't have to do that, and he looks at you, and he takes his helmet with the little light. He takes it off, and he's got like a little thing in there, and he hands it to you, and he hands you a token. It looks like a little shaped rock with the sigil of the Dwarven Guild. He
Would I
hands
know
it to
anything
you.
about this?
It's the Dwarven sigil.
Okay.
Think of it as like a favor. You would show it to someone in that guild, and you can pull a favor. He sends to and he looks at you. He speaks very little common, and he says, "A dwarf always pays his debts." And he hands you the token.
I'm gonna look at the token very intently for a few moments, studying it, both sides, and then I'll bow low to show respect, and then I'll say, "We need to go. The rocks are gonna come down on us."
He looks at you. He goes, "I've never I've never lost the mind. I'm not about to begin now." And him and the remaining miners grab bladders, canvases, mining tools, and picks, and you see them just literally ignoring you all, running to the location that was given to them by Russell, translated by Milk. Anything else anybody else wants to do?
So this area is empty now?
Yep.
I'll have
Let's
a
go
little.
check out the. Let's go check out the smithy again. Maybe there's some
Yeah.
armor or weapons in there we can use.
I'd like to sift through the Earth Elemental's remains, particularly grab that flag. And
Okay.
just kind of see if there's anything, any clues,
As you
anything of
make your way
interest in there.
as you make your way over there, you already see Kara's already digging through that shit, and just as you get there, you see her holding this beautiful diamond. It's large even for a diamond, but she completely ignores the banner that's just laid out there.
All right, okay, shinies are nice. I want information. Is there anything that's informative over here?
Okay, make an investigation roll.
Alright.
Ooh.
You just had to get wet, didn't you?
Okay, so you I'm just gonna say it. So you look upon it and you realize what created the elemental is the very diamond she's holding.
Be careful with that thing, lass. You don't want to make another of these by accident. Kara? Blue?
Hello?
Yeah, just saying. Be
Oh, what's
careful with
up?
that. Be careful with that diamond. You don't want to make another of these beasties by
Yeah.
accident.
It's a yellow diamond. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
So you realize, and because you rolled such a high investigation, and you have the ability to detect magic, do you not?
Yes.
Okay. So as an at will kind of thing, right? Because of what you are. Is that correct? Or is it a ritual?
No, it's a it is.
Or a
It's
spell?
ritual.
It's a
Ritual or
ritual.
spell, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say, just by your investigation roll, we'll say, just to speed things up a little here, you realize that the very yellow diamond she grabbed is an elemental gem. It is a gem that is said to contain a mote of elemental energy. When used as an action to break the gem, an elemental is summoned as if you had casted a conjure elemental spell. After that, the gem's magic is lost. You can determine the elemental summoned by the spell by the color of the gem. A yellow diamond is an earth elemental, which has now been used, but it's still a valuable yellow diamond.
All right.
So
I still tell her to be careful with it, you know. Unschooled folk need not be messing with magical bits they don't understand. But say is there anything else you find? Is the flag, for example, is it a perfect representation of the high trees fellows?
It is. You
Okay.
realize that it no doubt it was intentionally placed upon its head as a banner so that everyone and everything is aware of why it's here.
All
It
right, and
was
it's
sent as a weapon of mass destruction in this mine. No doubt given the instructions to collapse and destroy and kill everyone in this mine.
and since it was intended to kill everyone who saw it, it's not likely it was a false flag.
Correct.
Opportunity to get us to look at those druids. Okay, well, I think we now know we need to have a chat with, if I can string English together properly. Um, those druids have a wee bit to answer for.
Anyone want to retort?
Druids. I didn't know there were any druids involved.
Aye, this bunch, and I'll you know show the banner to him.
Yeah,
Uh,
he unflurries this banner, and some people know what the banner means in more detail than others. But yeah,
aye,
Oh, that banner. What does it mean again?
symbol of a group call themselves the Druids of the Tall Trees. They're best way to put it would be kind of an anti-civilization group. They don't like well, people doing anything to what they view as nature, farms, mines, cities, anything of that sort. They kind of regard as against nature, which is utterly ridiculous, of course, because to build such things into farm and mine and so on is the nature of thinking peoples. Um, so their very premise is ridiculous from the word go, but they can be violent about it. This would not be the first time they've resorted to harsh measures to shut something down.
At least some in the elemental, yeah?
Aye, that would be exactly their kind of thing to do.
I have.
Orchid, as you're talking, Kara is
uh,
going to take out the yellow diamond and just hand it to you.
Ah, thank you, lass. It shouldn't have any charges left, but we'll put it somewhere safe.
I
Um,
have
it could,
hypothesis.
so there's two things you can do with that. That you can do it as just a valuable diamond, or it will actually count as the spell component for that, or for one of the lower component items if you wish to create a magical item at a later date.
all right.
I have
Very well.
hypothesis, yes. I heard from Dorf that when they were digging the mine, they found a chamber with bones. Looked like a graveyard, and they disturbed the graveyard. I'm thinking that the druids did not like this.
Oh, well, the Druids would not have liked a mine being here in the first place, but do I know anything about the Druids' burial practices?
No, I mean they just might have seen it as sacred ground, which maybe forced them to take more extreme measures.
Well, I it might have it might have exacerbated the Druids' response, but they'd have probably been willing to come after this place regardless.
Do you know where we can find the druids?
Do I know where we can find the? Wait, no, we had the tree.
The
We,
tallest
we,
tree in the forest.
yeah, we had that pointed out to us earlier. So we have an idea. One of the locals earlier pointed out their nearby chapter house. I suppose you should
Yeah,
say
their
grove
grotto,
is, I think, the term they
the
use.
grove. Yeah.
I think
Aye.
perhaps we should visit them.
Oh, aye, laddie. The question is, visit them to talk, or to visit them with a little payback? That's the question.
Ilya glances at the wrappings on his fists, and kind of gestures, the second option.
Anyone else want to say anything? As these are having a beautiful conversation.
I think Richter and Ken are just shooting this shit up in the blacksmith shop, seeing if there's anything valuable.
Okay, that's right. And
He
so
holds up like
someone
a
and
pair of
Kenji, you
gloves.
had said that as well, correct?
What do you think about these?
Okay, so when you go to the workshop, you can clearly see that there is dwarven plate, and as you're shifting through, you find two chain shirts made of mithril.
Ooh. Yoink.
I'll grab one, but I really don't have a use for it.
I
See if
do.
anyone else wants it. Yeah. He just goes. Richter just goes, neat. And
Now,
he
also,
takes his hammer and taps his skin, and it dings.
so you're welcome to take anything that might be of a standard weapon that a dwarf would use. So think of like the dwarven great axe, the dwarven um, what else? Probably shields, armors. So anything like that that you want to add to your inventory, you're more than welcome to. It is considered of master craftsmanship, not enough to give a modifier of magic, but I'll say if you wish to sell it, it will count as double the price. The only other thing that's here is a value other than the dwarven plate mail, which of course would run for almost 3,000 gold coins.
Yeah, does that fit? Would that fit me?
No, it would not. It's made for a dwarf. It's dwarf sized.
We're
But
definitely gonna
it can
take
be
it.
ored and melted into something else. And of course, the great axe of adamantite, which Richter already has, that he grabbed from the rack in the beginning.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna take this dwarven plate, if only to sell it. Ilya, you're not. No, you're taller than me. God damn it, Ilya. Every time I see you, I want to change how I talk, and I think it's because you just have
I come from beautiful
a
country.
look. Not even that. It's just there's a look about you that makes me think I want to be like him.
It is the air of superiority. You kill enough people and people want to be more like you. It's the confidence.
Well,
You
it
you
has
can
to be the
hear
confidence because I don't think you ever hit that thing.
Listen. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Not the question, you know.
You can hear pounding. You can hear the mine. You can hear the miners doing their best in their attempts to save and plug the hole, which without magic you find it rather difficult, and you wonder if they could make things worse in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shove this plate into a box and just start walking out of the mine.
Okay, I mean,
Ребята,
like
за
I said,
мной. Мы ездим в Срочью.
it's a blacksmith's unit, so there's probably like a carry-on
There's like
carry
a
set.
wheelbarrow.
Yeah, or a wheelbarrow or a cart or something if you want to come out with like a cart and all the bars and stuff. If you guys are
You
wanting
want me to
go that
carry?
far,
Let's go.
I will. I can carry for you. I am quite hefty.
Oh, it's all right. It's okay. I
Babushka
got
fed
it.
me
It's
plenty
all right.
borscht.
You can
that's
go
awesome.
you can go get as many of the gold bars as you like. I took 10.
I have no
I
need
don't
for
know how
this.
I
many
got the
Ken
rest of them.
grabbed.
Yeah,
What's
I'll
that?
say there were about 50 gold bars in there.
Oh, then I wouldn't have taken 10. I would have just taken 5.
Just a
So
comment though.
you
I
had
don't
50
wear
silver
armor.
and 50 gold bars. So there were silver bars and gold bars.
Okay, then I would have taken 5 gold and 5 silver.
Cool.
I'd have put the rest in a wheelbarrow.
Here's the thing. The wheelbarrow they can claim is still theirs. What's in my pockets is mine.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're all exiting the mine unless anyone wants to do anything or interact in any other way.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So once we
All
step
right.
outside, I would like to see if those miners have a boss out here we can send to drag their idiot hides out before they get drowned.
You mentioned adamantium. Is there any adamantite anywhere sitting around?
No, there's no ore that you see. Just the weapons
There's
that they
another
had,
axe at the front.
which were the 4 great axes. So there's actually 4, 2 that have died here. So you see 2 on the floor where the guys died.
And then there's one more that's unused at the front if you want to grab
Correct.
it on the way.
can I grab it on the way out?
Yeah, if you want.
I'm not gonna use it, but I want it.
Goblin brain, take. Goblin.
No,
Ребята,
maybe
Езите! Быстро!
maybe I could melt down into something pretty for Babushka. She'll hate it, and I'll love it.
I would appreciate that, my friend.
Babushka,
Or you
terrible
mean
lady.
your actual babushka.
Babushka, terrible lady.
Okay. You make your way out of the mine, right? So you're kind of okay. So let me make sure you understand this because I don't want there to be any confusion. Are you pushing a wheelbarrow out with items? Yes or no?
I am carrying a box out with plate mail. I think Ken is pushing a wheelbarrow out filled with gold.
Is that true?
And silver.
and silver.
Is that what's happening? I just want to make sure.
That is exactly what's happening.
He's like, that's exactly what's happening. So
Just-
you guys are kind of wheeling this stuff out. You see the miners all working hard. You make it out, and you don't find Lorelei anywhere, right? When you kind of come out there, and you see the Edler helping some of the injured miners, but you see that there's some type of commotion or something going on in the hamlet across the river, um, just a few minutes away. As again, it's a jogging is about a 10-minute jog. So you can already see that there's something sort of going on in the hamlet. You're not sure what that is. There's a few injured miners and the Edler who's trying to care for them. And as soon as he sees you come out with those items, he looks at you all strangely. But he doesn't say anything. He just approaches you all. He goes, excuse me. So, is everything okay? Are the miners okay? Is we hear noises and rushing water.
You got about 2
Um,
hours before the mine floods, unless the dwarves manage to stop it.
I see. That's why we're. I say as I've noticed their
Yeah.
avaricious acquisitions. That's why we're hauling stuff out. We're getting out as much as we can, but the miners are hopefully going to be able to stop the flooding. All the hostiles are dead. There's nothing left in there trying to kill us or anybody, but except for the water, that is. So
What
that's
exactly
all going on.
was he goes killing? There's dead miners in there.
Oh, yeah.
What? You've never
Oh,
seen dead body
There's a
before?
lot of dead miners.
You've never seen dead body? Do you want to?
Well, I mean, I'm not a stranger to death, but I mean, those miners we pay good money, and I believe they're insured, and it could cost a good penny.
Yeah, well,
All
there
right.
was they desecrated a graveyard to dig out your mine, and somebody didn't like that and summoned an earth golem. And that earth golem really did not
No, friend.
did
Earth
not want to
elemental.
leave survivors.
Yes.
Oh, it says an earth golem. What?
Niet earth elemental.
Earth
Fire
elemental?
elementals
Fire elementals? He goes, whoa. The, the, the druids have never attacked us or taken a life other than just recently there was a death of wolf attacks. But this is a completely. Are we in danger? Should we be doing something?
You should give me all the money you have and I fix problem.
I'll smack him upside the head. Ignore my friend here. Dang it, you got me doing it now.
I think that
The
we're gonna
rush
have
is
a chat with the
contagious.
druids.
Yeah.
There's
well,
this specific disease going around. It's called
indeed,
Russian.
indeed. All right.
It's called
All right.
it's called
Ignore
the
my-
love of the motherland. It is called
Can I get a homebrew feat where I spread my accent
Yeah,
everywhere?
Go ahead, Russell. You want to say something?
No. No. Ignore
Nieta
my
kurva.
friend here. Yeah, ignore my friend here. Long answer is, well, too long. We don't have enough time for that. But short answer is, we'll be going over and asking the druid some questions. Is there any one of them you normally contact or have interactions with, or are they just kind of the strange people off in the forest? I mean,
We throughout the years they've used to come during the autumn festivals and make their presence known and help with the crops, but that has long since been a thing since we've discovered the mine.
Right.
It's why we were forced to have to deal with the mine. Our crops simply were not as plentiful, nor was everything as easy as it once was.
okay, all right. So let me make sure I got the order of events right. You had a relationship with the druids wherein they helped your crops. They stopped coming. Crop failures happened. You opened the mine to get more revenue for the village.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very kindly. That helps a lot. Do you have a name for a leader among the druids, or for a contact? Anyone I
He
should ask
says,
for?
he goes, there is one, and he says, if I could find it. Oh, he says, the leader of the druids is a man named Wolfsbane.
All right. Well, that's not pretentious at all. Thank you very kindly, sir. We'll be going to have a chat with him, and I'll
Y'all
let you know
think
how
he'll
that
be a
goes.
bit batty? You know?
Does anybody have any silver?
Shh.
I mean, that's what's in the wheelbarrow there.
Okay. Has anyone seen Chisholm, old John Wayne flick?
Of course.
Yeah. Did you bring any gold, silver? Just lead. Anyway, best starting scene. A rustler's trying to sell back some of his own stolen cows,
Okay.
and
So
yeah. Anyway,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Total
Yeah,
aside.
yeah, no. Yeah, oh, good. So you guys, did you want to do anything else or say anything else? I mean, so
I want to
he's
take a
too
little
nice.
break.
He's too entranced. Not he's just too busy with what's going on. He's concerned with what's going on in there, and he in fact starts some of the treated patients that are minors when they hear you say that they're trying to plug the mine, even while injured, run into the mine to help.
Alright, well, dwarvish
I,
craziness is dwarvish
They can
craziness.
figure that out.
my friend, he left off when I said I want the money, but it was no joke. Do you have anything you could offer me? I'm not being paid to be here.
he, uh, uh, with that being said, he says, "Well, I don't." And he goes, "You can make your way back to the hamlet. There seems to be something going on. They did send one of the children up here to tell me that they were concerned with a pack of wolves working the edge of the town, almost as if watching them. But again, I don't know. I have to stay here. I have to protect the interest of the hamlet."
I
Alright.
summon, I summon Ren and I say, "All right, I reckon we're gonna go kill some dogs."
It hurts my heart to continue to be reactive, but I suppose after this we'll get to go on the offensive. Alright, let's go save the wee village.
Yes, let's kill some wolves. I make nice face covering to cover Babushka's head.
You really don't
The
like your
fuck is
grandma,
wrong with
do
you,
you?
laddie?
She
You really
stuck me
just
in
don't like
Burlev's
her.
sack and beat me one child.
That just sounds
I
like
wonder
discipline to
why.
me. Just,
Alright, Miss
can we
Cara,
take a?
questions, comments, concerns?
Are we coming up on a time for a short break?
I
we
believe
we
we
are.
are.
We are. We could go on the break in the next 2 minutes if you guys want. I'm down with that.
What expert timing?
Is that what you guys want to do? Let's take a break. That's a good place
Yeah, let's
right
break.
before the last encounter. Yeah, that's good.
Alright.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lombot Goldstein,
Alright.
but you can call me Lombot. Well, I'm not having a panic attack about the ever-increasing stack of unfiled paperwork waiting in my office during my adventure. I'm dreaming of better days, spent in the Dungeon Divers Discord server. There, I could find fantastic stories, meet new people, make new friends, and share new and wonderful experiences, completely distracting me from my real-world duties and obligations. It's ruining my life. Anyways, they're running multiple games a week, every week, with experienced DMs and an active moderation team, so make sure you come by and check things out. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's free with Prime, and you'll no longer have to watch ads. It's a wonderful thing. Anyways, I've finished dissociating enough to do this advertisement, so I'm gonna go finish some paperwork. Bye-bye!
Hello, everyone. We're back from our little break. We've all stuffed our faces as quickly as possible, used our little restroom breaks, and got a refill of our drinks, and we're ready to continue. From our last session, if you just joined us, the players have just um, killed off the Earth Elemental. They have discovered that the druids have done more extreme things to be rid of them. They've also discovered that the mine was some type of sacred ground or burial site, and that the dwarves sort of ignored it and just sort of kind of brushed everything out of the way. They come out, they speak to the Edler after the players engorged themselves with all the gold and silver that they could carry, and made their way back towards the hamlet as the Edler explains to them that they have to save the mine at all costs. The players, apparently not too interested in that, continue to push into the hamlet, and that's where our next scene will begin. Um, Let me move you all to the next app. Okay, the inspiration for Thornbrush, in case we need to be reminded, is right here. So you kind of start entering. You take the bridge, you circle around, cross the river. Is everyone on the map? Everyone can see the map, correct? I don't have dynamic lighting on or something, do I?
All right, cool.
Just want
I'm
to
on
make
the
sure.
map.
Hold on. I want to
We're
make sure
good.
there's no. Yeah, okay, it's off. Good. So you can see everything on the map, and there are your tokens. Okay, so you're making your way into the hamlet. Several commoners are kind of going about their business when suddenly a commoner runs up to you all. Commoner number two. He comes up to you and tells you um, that that the sea creature has flipped over a boat with children, and you must do something. Please, they beg for your help. Please, please help us. You have to. The children. They flipped over one of the fishing boats. That creature, it's foul. It's not going to stop. You have to stop it. Please, please help us.
All right,
What
when
do
do
you
we?
do?
Which way?
Where is creature?
He,
Yes.
he points to the north, right from where you're at. And just as he points, at almost that same instant, the village square is abuzz with hawkers shouting about goods buyers and buyers chatting, and various animal noises from sheep bleats to dog barks to geese are honking. Awning shops and cart stand arranged in a messy rows with goods on display in varying states of tidiness. Suddenly, howls can be heard in the center of the town as panic begins to erupt. People screaming and livestock running wild. You see several four legged, dark shaped creatures running through town, attacking people and livestock. So bear with me and pay attention to the map here.
All right, is anyone good in the water?
Well, I am quite athletic, but I don't know if that counts.
Would swimming roles be athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Probably athletic.
Okay. Basically, I know you don't split the party, but I think we ought to split the party. Someone go save the kids.
Okay,
Someone else kill
so
wolves.
please make notice of the map at the top. You will notice that there are children. Oh, here we go. On the flipped over boat, you notice a large sea creature.
Technically, it's a
Well, it's a
freshwater app.
crocodile. Well, but it's a large crocodile. And then at the bottom, you notice several wolves and the dire
Uh-oh.
wolf. Okay, so let me just describe every little scene to you. The wolves. Um, Oops, wrong one. That's the one I'm looking for. As you look upon the large dire wolf pushing out of the underbrush of the trees with the howling sound to betray its passage, the dire wolf is as large and as powerful as almost a fully grown horse. Sniffing at the air, the monstrous canine bares its ferocious fangs as it attempts to locate new prey to eat. As well as the wolves. And then at the top with the crocodile, a water wheel spins beside the river, adding its repeated sloshing to the chuckle of the flow. The stone building to which is attached to must be a mill, and its use by local farmers and the trade they bring has grown a little settlement up around it. The trees cleared to reveal the stone strewn bank of the small river. The water gurgles and swirls in its lazy current, and the stones beneath glimmer with the sunlight from above. Suddenly, a shout is heard to get out of the water. The screams and cries of children are heard in the distance and in the background. Loud splashing and bestial sounds come from the water's edge. As you begin to observe and approach, you see a large crocodile trying to overturn that has successfully overturned a small boat of children who were out fishing. Adults at the water's edge are yelling at the kids to navigate back to the dock, but they are too scared to listen, and the fishermen too scared to rescue them. So, everyone, please roll initiative. Make sure you click on your token.
See if I can do better this time.
Ah, that's a horrible roll.
Not bad.
I rolled a 1. I rolled a natural.
Welcome to Hotel Kenichi,
That's where
California.
Kenji, yeah, Kenji was at that last time.
You notice it throughout this whole campaign of this character. I don't think I've rolled better than like 13 for initiative.
You're only at +1 for initiative, aren't you?
Huh? What?
Okay. Okay. So as you know, the villager tells you what he does. I'm going to give some role playing in a second here. So the villager begs you all to help, and almost like in unison, almost like they're working in a two pincer maneuver attack. These wolves come rushing into the town, and as the children are screaming for help, the villagers are in a panic. They're running into their homes. Some are reaching for like weapons to protect, agricultural weapons like rakes and things like that,
They're looking for
shovels
their
and
hose.
clubs. Yeah, they're hoes. And and this villager's confused, and they're looking at all of you to do something. Go ahead and discuss among yourselves while role playing of the shitty situation that you've been dealt with as you've just approached the hamlet of Thornbrush. I mean, you guys.
You know, I am quite muscular. I can probably take crocodile in the water.
I'll help you with that.
Excellent.
Right. Well,
I'll take the
I don't
wolves.
swim well even without the armor. In it, I sink like a bloody stone. So I think Kenichi and I are on the wolves. Oh, and
You're
real
muted.
quick before you all
Richter,
leave,
you're muted, Richter.
Richter, you're muted.
Victor, we can't hear you.
Richter, you're muted.
Richter, we can't hear you.
I think he's got himself deafened too.
I'm worried about the kids, but if y'all say y'all can handle it, I'm gonna go take care of the wolves.
Okay.
Right. And before you all run off, if you can kill the gator and bring its tail back, those things are wonderful if you deep fry them. Oh, trust me.
Duh, I've had before. It's delicious.
All right,
Oh,
so they're gonna go get
that does sound
provisions,
pretty
and
dang
we're gonna
good.
get everyone
So-
a fur coat.
So with that, the crocodile goes first, pushes forward, and just kind of hits the boat, freaking everyone out, but doesn't do anything, other than just knocking over the boat. Kenshi.
Okay. So I'm just gonna move straight south here. I don't know if this bush is gonna be difficult terrain or not.
It is difficult terrain.
Okay, so then I'm gonna have to stop here, but I should still have, I think, a direct line of sight to the well in the middle of the village. Let me verify.
Yes, you do. Yes,
So I
you
think if
do.
I cast Fireball on the well, I should get all 3 of the wolves and the dire wolf.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I get any of the villagers.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Well, no, I'd have to measure it first, right?
All right, so it's a 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah, so it's 20 out, 20 out. I can do it very, very easily. This is how I can. That's so funny.
No, actually, I think if I center it on the well, there are 3 villagers that are going to get roasted.
Well, you know, you win some, you
I don't
lose
think
some.
there's anywhere that you can put it without fucking flambeing
Show
a
me how
family.
hard you are,
Yeah.
Kenji. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Do
going to
it.
work like I thought.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Give in to
Do
your
it.
anger.
Fireball is huge.
Let us feed on the dark side of
Fireball
your
ain't gonna do it.
power.
So instead, I think what I'm going to do, first I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. And target which one?
I think I have a clear line of sight on Wolf 3, right? Nobody
do,
in the
and-
way?
Correct. And 2.
Okay, well, let's start with number 3. Actually, you
Okay.
know what? Let's start with number 2.
Okay. So you shoot. Go ahead. How does the spell, come out? What's your thing?
Well,
I'm here.
the first one obviously fizzles in my hands, right? That's a natural
What?
one.
Yeah.
You still murder a commoner.
Ah!
The 24 hit?
I think so. Yeah.
It only
Of
does
course it
4
does.
fire damage.
Which one did you target?
Wolf number 2.
Okay, cool.
I assume a 21 also hits.
Yep.
That's another 8 fire damage.
Same one?
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you describe the action as you kill off the wolf.
So the first shot goes, and I try to sizzle its paws, and it moves out of the way. But then the second one hits it right in the eye, and the third one hits it in the other.
Yeah. The thing just like it does that horrible yelping sound that animals make, and it just kind of like burns as you singe its eyes, and the thing just spins out of control and hits the ground as you kill it. What else are you gonna do?
I don't know if this is gonna come up or not, but I'm gonna cast a quickened Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, you can do that to Kentrip. Boom, that is a hit if you hit Wolf 3.
Okay, so that's 7 force damage on Wolf number 3.
Okay.
And my second attack roll is a 13 hit.
It does hit.
Oof.
In case you're wondering, they're 13 armor class.
Another 2.
Ooh, it survives.
Oh, close.
All right,
Yeah.
and that's the end of my turn.
Yeah. So Kenji basically shoots out 3 lasers. One misses, 2 hits the eyes of the second wolf. The third one, I imagine that he channels like his chi energy and like this, like his eyes flare kind of like a Raiden style, and then he just kind of like shoots out this Eldritch Blast as he's just like this funnel of magical energy coming, striking the wolves and everything. And there, the villagers are like screaming and in panic, but they're also gawking at his amazing power as they're like. You know.
Can I say something before I
Of
end my
course you
turn?
can. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the square! Run, hide, take cover.
They will go at the end of the turn, by the way. Okay. The wolves, including the wolves and the dire wolf, all go in the same turn. So the dire wolf that's injured, is just kind of goes and attacks number 7. And kills him.
Commoner.
Oh,
Ain't that a shame?
Okay, that's only, and then he'll run here. Okay. Wolf number 1 attacks commoner number 9 and kills commoner number 9 as well.
Oof.
Oh, these wolves are
Yeah.
brutal.
and then we'll go to attack the children over here. Okay. The dire wolf, being much more intelligent, sees that you're no doubt a spellcaster, and 5, 10, 15 takes a leap, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I'll double move. And he stays there. Okay. Kara.
Okay, Kara is going to. Well, let's see, because it's been more than 10 minutes, but we haven't had any sort of short rest or anything, right?
Correct.
So my arms are gone, my tattoo is gone. I've got no key points remaining.
Mm-hmm.
God, monk with no shit at disposal. Okay, well, let's see. Can I just? Can I move these for? Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take the dash action to run to here and just kind
Everyone,
of shout at the
everyone,
kids.
everyone witness this roll, and add 6 to this number. It's going to be at advantage.
Wait, what? Add 6.
Okay. I just want everyone, because I don't fake any rolls. So 16 plus 6. Okay. Carol, what do you do?
That would be my turn. I'm just not really doing anything else. I'm just
Awesome.
shouting to the kids to
Is that
hang on.
Okay.
see? I have
Oh,
the
yeah.
GM. I have the GM perms just for
I
map
know. So
manipulation.
I know. I
Is that
know.
what I thought it
Hush.
was?
Hush. Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're gonna let's take a look. See. Move there. Then there. All right. I'm gonna move right here, using my action to dash.
Anything else?
Bonus action rage.
Okay. So Ilya's running top speed and psyching himself up, probably biting into his lip, kind of like an athlete, kind of getting excited as he's running down. Richter.
All right. Richter is going to move here and then to here. So to here. And he is then going to pull out his 2 hand axes. He still is not using his shield because he
Okay.
took it off during the fight.
That's cool.
Or in the mines. First attack is going to be with his regular hand axe at wolf number 3.
Go ahead.
That's just at not at disadvantage.
Okay.
So that is going to be actions. Oh, I have to equip it real quick. Whoopsie daisy. Doop, doop, doop. All right, there we go. Doop. Ah,
Oof.
damn.
So you roll a natural 1, and this hand axe goes flying and roll damage because you strike the commoner in the back.
Oh, he's
Oof.
so dead.
Killing
He's
him.
so dead.
You just see your hand axe goes flying.
Mom,
he-
get the
he kinda-
camera.
and he kind of hits as the wolf just takes a bite out of his throat when he hits the ground. Freaks out the fucking this commoner right here.
There's only
Is-
one witness.
360 no
Is
scope.
this the hand axe that returns?
No, that's not the hand axe that returns.
Okay.
Okay.
What else?
The next
what else
one's going at the crocodile at disadvantage.
What else do you do? Okay, so keep in mind that you cannot pull out 2 hand axes unless you're a dual wielder.
Okay, I figured that because all right,
Aren't they
my
both
hands
light
are both
weapons?
free.
What's that?
Aren't they both light weapons?
Yeah, but he has to be a dual. You cannot draw
Oh,
2 weapons
draw
simultaneously.
both.
Yeah, I dropped the
Yes.
stuff.
Sorry.
Okay, then yeah, I can't really do anything
Okay.
unless
Russell.
I pick up a rock off the ground and tavern brawler it. But
Technically, you can't do that either because you drew the
then
hand
I'm
axe.
done.
Okay, Russell.
I just murdered a man, and that's it.
Alrighty. So from my point of view, the direwolf is kind of hiding behind this shack.
Yes.
Well, that's annoying. Why is the bloody dog hiding from me? I'm offended. I am offended.
It is not. It's not a dumb animal.
No, it's not. Oh, here it was. So 1, 2, 3. 6. Can I get line of sight on it from there?
From what, onto the direwolf?
Yeah.
Yes, but I will improve its armor class by 2.
Okay, what about this wolf? Since I'm
That-
firing over this guy's shoulder,
That's a clear. The commoner still counts as cover as well.
even though I'm adjacent to him?
That's by rules. Anything that blocks line of sight is considered cover, including friendlies or creatures or
Okay.
objects.
Huh. All right. See, this is where I'm a D&D newbie, people. In several of the games where I've played,
It's 13 armor class, so he would be 15
yeah.
armor
You
class.
could always just kill the commoner.
Or you could say something, and maybe
I-
the commoner could do something and react to you, but that's
can
dependent.
I tell him to duck as I
Is that
shoot
what you want to do?
Yes, I tell the commoner to duck and shoot a firebolt at this wolf.
Okay, so when you come around the corner, you're like, Doc! He looks at you, and he's such a fucking stupid commoner that he actually gets further in your way, like he's confused on what he should do. Doc, what? No, don't! And he kind of gets in your way.
Okay, so still shoot the wolf, trying to fire over his shoulder, and shoot.
And unfortunately, he gets in your way, not wanting to injure the commoner. You miss the wolf by inches.
Yeah, fucking
gotta
idiot.
cover
Do you
that.
not know that duck means hit the ground, you blithering moron?
Okay, anything else?
Bonus action, use my defensive field thingy to give me
Cool.
5 hit points.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can do
5
that.
temps. You can eat. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Top of the turn. Okay.
There it is.
Hold on. So I rolled at 16, and I rolled higher than Kara's passive perception.
Okay.
At 8. Ooh,
Hello.
that would be
Woo!
Hello
for the
there.
manipulator.
Okay. Camouflaged as a swamp log, the two-headed crocodile slowly blinks its yellow reptilian eyes as it gauges the odds of taking you on. The power of its mighty jaws would probably allow it to crush solid rock. Despite its immobile stance and its lazy demeanor, you have the feeling that it can move lightning fast when it comes to a meal within its biting jaws. It will go on the same initiative as the crocodile, and it sees you and tries to take a bite at you from there with advantage because you did not notice him when he tries to strike you.
Of course.
Oh,
So
he was
15
stealth.
and 12. Does 15 armor class hit?
Nope.
It misses you with one chomp, but because it has 2 heads, it has multi-attack and takes another bite at you again at advantage.
Missing.
It's a
Well,
shame I
ten,
don't
no.
have 2 heads.
And 15.
Yeah.
Misses again.
Yeah, so Kara, even though she doesn't notice it, this thing tries to come out and kind of hits the little dock area, but her reflexes are just far too great for this crocodile. Again, her monk and discipline training prevents her from getting bit by 2 attacks from this crocodile. The
It's like
other
that-
crocodile ignores the children and comes towards you to the front and attacks
Ooh.
Kara. 16 armor
Misses.
class, and
Misses.
tries to take a bite out of you and fails to do so. So there's just like all this clamping coming at you.
It's like that video where they throw a chicken into the crocodile pit.
Your turn, Kenshi.
Okay, so I'm judging from Russell's position that if I were to move here, that I'd have
Mhm.
line of sight on the direwolf.
Correct. His armor class will
Okay.
be improved by 2.
And it's been like just a few minutes since we came out of the mine, right?
It's been it's assuming that you walked because you were pushing the cart, so about 30 minutes have passed.
Okay, so that means my hex is still active. So as a bonus action, I'm going to move my hex to the direwolf.
Ooh, okay. And
And
affect
then,
what?
huh?
Strength or what ability?
Oh yeah, I'm going to hex its strength just in case it
Okay.
tries to wrestle somebody.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Scorching Ray again.
Oh, you're just bumping it out, aren't you?
Ooh,
Natural 20.
Good hit, dude.
Oh, is that a
16.
crit?
Yeah.
Yeah, 16
Yeah.
damage.
it's a nasty one.
Oh,
15
you
damage.
can
I
see
also
the
get an
circle.
extra d6. What do you call it? Necrotic from the hex.
So,
The hex,
so roll
yes.
2d6. Roll 2d6.
Gotta love that hex.
Oh,
Extra 4.
Still 19 damage off one hit.
Okay.
God bless herself.
Oopsie daisy.
Okay, so I gotta roll 2 more of these, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
14 hit?
Nope, it hits the building. You singe the
Oof.
building. And your third ray is a
Ugh,
miss.
that
You
definitely hits the building.
yeah, it hits the building and the building kind of crackles and sort of just gets scorched really badly. You do significant structural damage, but other than that, nothing ill
Great.
happens.
Your
Anything else?
scorching sound makes it seem like he's sneezing. And now I want to make a caster that casts magic through sneezes.
was sneezing. Oh,
I do-
look
I
at
do-
Kenji backs up. He's like, "Oh, I'm backing up."
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm
Okay,
done.
so because you're in the bush, you are considered to have an armor class improved by 2. So if I forget, remember that, please. That includes dexterity saving throws because you're using it as cover. All right, the dire wolf sees Russell and Kenji try to blast it, and it focuses his attention on Kenji and takes a bite at Kenji. Here goes. And misses pathetically. Just kind of takes. You just see it kind of gets caught in the branches, trying to bite the branches, and you're just kind of like dodging it, from the trees and the bush, and you successfully avoid its attack. Okay. The other wolf, um, it the dire wolf as it attacks, the dire wolf howls almost as if it's commanding the wolves, and when it howls, it comes straight towards Russell and attacks. Oh my man, I'm
That'll be
doing
no,
horrible,
wait, that'll be flanking, no?
right? No,
No?
No way.
no.
I'm
There's no flanking.
I'm not adjacent to the
There's
dire wolf.
The other one's
between
not.
the
It's
two.
not adjacent.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Wolf 3, when it hears the howl, um, it and double moves, but cannot attack. Okay, Kara.
Okay, Kara is going to throw 2 punches at the giant alligator or giant crocodile or whatever it is, and
The
then
giant
kick
crocodile or the two-headed crocodile?
a giant one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
this
they're
one.
both giants.
Oh, okay. Well, which one is this one then? Is it just a
This
regular
is
crocodile?
it's a regular crocodile, and that's a two-headed crocodile.
Oh, okay. So I'm throwing 2 punches at the one that tried to bite me, the 2-headed one, and then a kick at
Okay.
this one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Punch, kick.
Yep.
13 hit.
13. Oh, hold on. Yes, I believe it does. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta bring up the stats on that one. Yes, it does hit.
9 bludgeoning damage. Second attack to it, 11. I'm assuming that misses.
11 does miss.
Okay. And
You
then the
said
kick at
9
the
damage. Ooh, good
yeah,
damage.
the kick
Okay.
at the regular one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's a miss as well. So you basically you palm strike the two-headed crocodile right at the top of its skull. Kind of like makes it clamp down. It splash water, blood seeps everywhere. But then like the creatures kind of go in and out of the water, and you're just kind of hitting water.
Mm.
And water goes splashing everywhere, making it difficult to strike them. Unfortunately, you miss the other attacks. Anything else?
Nope.
The children start screaming, doing their best to hold on to the boat, and you see that they're so frightened and don't want to hold on to the boat that they try to swim on their own, and you see they're not doing very well swimming across to the other side of the river. Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna run up and make a unarmed attack.
Go ahead.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
Nice.
god.
We all rolled natural ones the first time.
Yeah, just about. Yep. You go, you throw a punch, you do kind of like that whole flying punch down to the ground, and you just hit water. And it splashes in your face. You get more wet than anything else.
Man. All right. Let's think. Let's think. How much movement did I have? I was here. 15. And I can move here. No, it's not worth it. All right. Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Richter.
Well, Richter has lost sight of any enemies, so he's going to use one of the healing potions we bought in the first session
Okay, you can do that.
on this commoner.
Oh, okay. Sure, because you're willing to spend a healing potion on a commoner. The commoner's at death's door. He's counting his last. He's like, Mom, Mom, and then you shove this healing potion down his throat, and he's like, I see the light. I see the light, Mom.
I grab him and I
You
throw
And
him
he
at the
snaps
other
awake
dude.
and he hugs you.
And I throw him off me and say, "Get in! You need to get inside and get the fuck out of the way. You need to get." But I will use the rest of my 15 feet of movement
Okay.
to move here, and that is the end of my turn.
Look at that. Richter the honorable. Russell.
Hey, weren't the commoners supposed to go at the end of the last round?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Let me push them out of the way. Sorry about this. Well, this one does not because he's too frightened. The wolf will snap at him. He went at dodge, but all the other ones will go boom,
Exact words were mama, ooh, 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 ooh.
boom,
I don't want to die.
boom,
Life had just begun.
boom,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'll go ahead and roll. I'm just
Boom.
swinging away at Wolf 1.
boom,
I think
The
Richter
oldie
was being
Freddy.
honorable. He just didn't want to catch a murder charge. He just
boom,
I accidentally rolled damage and not to hit. Sorry.
boom.
Why
Okay.
did you do that?
done that.
Okay, 19 and 21. Do I hit the wolf?
Yeah, man, totally.
Okay.
They're a walloping 13 armor class. 8
Natural
damage.
armor.
Okay.
So
You hit him with one fist, boom, for 8 thunder damage. The you hit it with this. You all hear this thunderous attack from his gauntlet as it kind of like collides into the wolf. The wolf yelps in pain, but it's still up.
well, what about the backhand that did 6 damage?
Oh, okay. So wait, you hit it. So you attacked twice. Is that what you did?
Yes. It's
Oh,
two
okay,
attacks for
okay.
attack. Actually.
Yeah, you kill it on the third one, on the second attack.
All right.
Your second one, when you backhand it, you slam it up and it goes flying into the room dead. There.
Let that be a lesson to you, Fido.
When the commoner sees you kill it, he looks at you in awe, right? Like, how badass are you? And he's like, oh, thank you. And he runs towards where the children are.
Well, now
There.
he's got the sense to be useful. And I'm gonna move up to the direwolf, and hope to smack it next turn.
Okay. The end of the round, folks. Wait. Yeah, that's right. Okay. The croc goes next. So the croc tries to kind of tilts over to the boat, just kind of jumps like onto the boat, collapsing it all, and strikes at Kara. Here goes. With advantage.
Yep. Flanky flank.
And an 11, but it does
Man.
no good. As her reflexes, I mean, it just looks badass, right? Like I imagine her kind of like as the thing is snapping, she's just lifting her foot up, kind of like a monk would, like in a swan, kind of like pose, and then it tries to tail whip her, and she just kind of like puts it over the tail. So she's very precise, minimal movement, right? Nothing dramatic. And then the two-headed crocodile, rather than attack Kara, attacks Ilya. Here goes.
Uh-oh.
Hits him
There we-
for 12 points of damage.
Or
The
6.
Oh yeah, because you're raged.
I
And the
am-
target is grappled.
Do I get to contest that?
On your turn, son.
Oh. That's
Mm. Awesome. Okay. And then it takes a bite out of you. The other head takes a bite. This one has advantage. It's a 17 hit,
Yep.
and you take a walloping 6 points of damage.
All right. 3.
Okay. Kenshi. Is he muted?
I could try to
Oh,
save one of those commoners' lives, but
Eh.
I could also try to kill one of these wolves.
I'm pretty sure I just used. I think we have 2 healing potions. I know I don't have a second one.
I have healing word.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Well, do they get to make death saves or how?
Well, I'll say they're like on death's door. If you guys are trying to save them, because so if this was a normal game, right, a normal campaign of mine, I tend to give rewards for like each peasant you save, and I count them as 10 experience points. So each one you kept alive, you would get 10, and if you get a majority, meaning 75%, I would give a bonus experience of like 100 to 150 as a challenge rating one, and so forth. So it's just an opportunity of experience. But in this example, it would probably be renown, right? How loved will you be when you come back to this town? That kind of thing. And if you play another one shot or one of my mini campaigns or campaigns, that will matter.
Hmm. Neat. Okay, I'm going to use my action to disengage, and then I'll cast healing word
Wow.
on this commoner.
Wow. Okay.
Inichi going for
Uh,
the in-game clout.
yep. So you right. He just focuses his discipline, his ability to stay calm in a nasty situation. He circles around the direwolf, making sure that it doesn't get an attack on him. He circles around the corner. And how does your healing touch work? Your
It's healing
your cure
word.
wounds. Yeah. How do you generate it? Was it different for you? Is it the same, or are you letting me describe it?
I figure I just close my eyes and focus, and as the incantation starts to go off, a little bit of spirit flame appears over my fingers, and then the target rejuvenates.
Yeah. So he's on the ground. You see him slowly fading, and then you see that little flame that you speak about. Your chi, your energy flows within him, and he like just gets startled awake, like very sudden. And he's like frightened and scared. And Richter, you see him jolt awake, and he immediately pushes into the thing as he takes a good look at Kenji to remember who was it who saved his life as he runs into the room. As Kenji gets a smile of, hey, that's good karma. What else do you do, Kenshi?
Well, that's my action and my bonus action.
Okay.
Um,
Is that it?
Maybe I'll take one step back just in case Russell wants to try to reposition.
Okay. All right. The dire wolf goes next. The dire wolf howls yet again, and
Oh, bring it, Fido.
it comes towards Russell. Uh, they have something called pack tactics, so it gets advantage on the attack roll.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Ooh, the dire wolf attacks and the wolf attacks, by the way.
Oof.
Does 19 and 20 hit?
Uh, is it exceed or meet armor rating?
That has to
Meat.
meet.
They both hit.
Okay, so you take a wallet. So the dire wolf attacks first for 7 damage, and I need you to make a DC strength saving throw. I will give you now. This is because of the hex. Even though you're not supposed to affect saving throws, that's ridiculous in this example. So I'm going to say that you have advantage to. Man, what a 20.
Oh, the natural
Hey,
20.
I'll let you describe that. How do you want to describe that? So this thing grabs onto your leg. It's about to knock you onto the ground, but you roll this natural 20. How do you resist it knocking you on the ground?
Flex that leg just right, and my powered armor lets loose a burst of steam right up the bloody
Yeah,
thing's nose, and it retracts with a yelp.
exactly. And then the second wolf takes a bite at you for 5 damage, and then also attempts to take you down on the ground. Make another saving throw, DC 11.
Okay.
And you
14.
succeed. Yeah, that one is just through sheer strength, right? You're just able to. It's a normal wolf. You're able to kind of kick it off as it's trying to bite through your armor. And you could feel the jagged teeth, its fangs going through your armor slightly, affecting your skin, crushing your leg. All
I
right,
don't
that's it
know who
there.
gave me 19 temporary hit points, but I should only have 5. So,
Kara.
Okay, Kara is going to.
Ah,
Let's see. Let's just double down on the double-headed crocodile. 3 attacks towards
okay.
it.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, natural one. There's my
Okay,
natural one,
yeah.
so
guys.
hold on. So you roll your natural one, and you realize because you're on the dock and all the shuffling of the gator, you will have to make a acrobatics 12 roll, or you will fall in the water prone.
That's 14.
Yep. So the dock kind of falls apart, forcing you to push over one square over down as the tip of it collapses into the water.
Okay.
You just sidestep over. Okay, now your second attack.
17.
You strike it and hit it.
7 bludgeoning. And a kick.
And you succeed in kicking it.
19. 5 bludgeoning.
The you see you hit one of the heads twice, and one of the heads just is dead. The gator's still alive, but one of the heads is dead, and the other one is still snapping, barely able to move. It seems sluggish as you realize it's on its last breath, aka it has 1 hit point left.
Nice.
What else do you
dude.
want to do?
I think that'll just be my turn. I don't have
Okay.
anything else I can do.
Oh yeah,
Okay. I'm grappled, so I can't move anywhere. Yeah.
correct.
That sucks. I'll make the unarmed attack against this two-headed croc.
Go ahead.
Does a 28
that's
hit?
Yeah, you basically. Do you want me to describe it, or do you want to describe the killing blow? So this thing's wrapped around you. I imagine you kind of grab its jaws. Do you want to take it, or do you want me
Nah, this
to
thing's got its arms around me, and I'm
It's
just
got its
like
mouth around you,
standing.
its
Yeah, its
jaw.
mouth around me, and I just raise one fist. I'm like, I am not in cage with you. You are in cage with me. Drop the hammer down on that sucker.
Yep. And it breaks open. You shatter its jaw, its teeth, and then it flips over on its back, floating dead in the water.
Nice. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna use my.
Now you are just prone. You are no longer grappled.
Oh, I'm prone. So
Yes,
I can.
unfortunately, you are prone.
Can I get up from that prone?
You lose half your movement if you do so.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. What do you do?
All right, I'm gonna use my bonus action to use fainting attack.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Hold on, let me. Is that no? That won't work because it's not within 5 feet. So then I'll just action surge.
Okay. I'm assuming you're gonna move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. Yeah. Can I attack it from here?
Yes, you can.
All right, sweet. Then that's what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead. It's a hit.
It'll be 10. Oh, 12 bludgeoning, actually.
Yeah,
Due to
try two
rage.
more
I
for
don't think
the
it adds rage. Yep.
No, it does not. It can, but it's not set in there right now. Yeah. So you again, you come at it. I imagine like again another pound fist, right? Boom! Right at the top of its head, right? The creature kind of staggers. It's acting all crazy in shallow water.
Yeah, hold on. I can move it 5. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's like a
Okay.
waste. All right, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Didn't you action search?
Oh, I did. I have another bonus action, don't I?
No.
Just
Oh, that's
No.
right. You only get one attack.
Oh,
I'm
you only
sorry, I
get one
forgot. You don't
attack,
have
yeah.
2 attacks. That's right. Okay, Richter.
Richter is going to use his free action to pull out that great axe he pulled out earlier.
You can do that as part of your movement. Yep.
Yep. Get to here. Use his bonus action to summon Grim
Huh.
right here, or Ren, I should say. And he's going to attack this wolf here twice from Grim's location.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. The 10 misses the wolf. The 23 hits it, and you kill it. Basically, he forms. The great axe comes down and just basically almost cleaves the poor beast in half. It doesn't even get a chance to react. It just dies before you as it's chopped by Grim, your brother Ren. Is it Ren?
Ren.
Let me change it to
And
Ren.
then he will use his 30 feet of movement to move here just to get out of Russell's way if Russell wants to run.
Thanks, Letty.
Cool. All right, Russell.
All right. Don't know why people keep expecting me to run. I've got hit points and heavy armor. Let's go
Yeah.
to town, beastie.
Well, it's also in case if someone else wants to get through there.
True. Swing it away. Of course.
The 14 hits.
Okay. So
Man, we are
12.
rolling so many natty ones.
Yeah. We were rolling crits earlier. Now it's all nat
Ooh,
ones.
12 damage. Good hit, dude.
Yeah, I think Brian used all of the luck.
Okay.
And
I didn't crit once during
the
that.
14 hits it. The 9 unfortunately comes up short. You wound the creature. It screams. It yelps in pain, and it seems frightened of you. But it continues. It presses its attack.
All right.
And you miss with the 9. Anything else?
You can't attack action twice, right? That's
Cannot.
a
Correct.
fighter thing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Okay. The crocodile pushes this way 1 and takes advantage of. Oh yes. Actually, hold on. You stood up from being prone. You're no
Yeah, he's
longer
not prone anymore.
No
And,
longer prone.
I will say here. I'll be fair. Evens. Kara. Odds. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Evens. That's you. It takes a bite at you.
me. Sounds good.
17.
That just hits.
Wow. Hey, I hit her, folks.
For 3 piercing damage.
3
Congrats.
points of
Finally.
damage. Make a DC 12 a grapple.
So that's acrobatics then, if I wanted.
You have to yeah, the escape is DC 12, correct? And so
Wait,
I'm
I
sorry,
didn't
you're
get to
grappled.
roll.
It has a
No,
DC,
no,
Oh.
then it's
I'm sorry.
a saving throw.
Yes, it's to escape. I'm sorry. No,
Okay.
you are automatically grappled. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Neat.
You're fine.
Okay. Kenshi.
Okay, I'm going to use my action to throw a couple of Eldritch Blasts at the dire wolf.
Okay. His armor class is improved by 2, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Here we go. You strike it with the Eldritch bolt, and its fear was earned. It cringes for that split second, like an animal that's wounded and it knows it's going down and it corners and it gets feral. And just as it's about to strike at Russell, Kenji focuses, shoots the Eldritch Blast, hits the poor wolf, and it just kind of falls before you just as it tries to lunge. So it like lunges at Russell, you hit it midair, and it just hits the ground inches away from Russell, dragging on the ground.
Oh, no, you don't.
What else do you do?
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast a healing word on that last villager down there.
Ooh, okay. Same thing with him. He's like probably this commoner was probably pulling him in. The children freaking out, staring at him, and as they're like trying to do something, 'cause they don't know what to do. They don't know first aid. They're just kind of like shaking him, thinking that's gonna help. And again, that guy just your little blue flame, right, kind of shoots across. You close your eyes, you focus, and he just jolts awake. And they look at you and they're like, oh, oh, and the children start cheering and they're like screaming and they're like excited and everyone starts kind of like peering out the windows and looking and they're just cheering in excitement of your victory as you've saved the villagers. I mean, you're literally saving their lives from death's door, and they get all excited and everyone's cheering and we'll say that even one of them, particularly you because you were very nice to them, remembers your name and they start shouting. And they kind of mispronounce it almost, right? They probably don't even say Kenshi, they say Ken. Ken, 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 and they're all shouting, and this whole like unison kind of comes across, and you guys can all sort of hear it coming from the other end. Okay.
That's
Anything
adorable.
else?
Yeah, I'm going to move my 30 feet,
Go ahead.
and that's it.
All right. Kara. You are grappled in that, but doesn't mean you can still attack. You don't get any modifiers to not attack or anything.
It's
like
either
that.
my action to attack or action to escape the grapple, right?
Yes. I would.
Do I have any disadvantage on attacks or anything like that?
Nope.
I just
While being
okay, so
grappled.
3 attacks then. Okay, 2 miss then. That's nice.
And
And the last
so,
one hits.
Yep.
9 damage.
Yeah, that's enough to kill it. I only had 70 points left. So the way I imagine is that you probably can't get enough of a proper like stance to attack it because you're kind of in its jaws. So you're just kind of hitting its hide. But then on the last one, you remember your training and you remember something called a 1-inch punch. You kind of focus 1 inch, you bring in your finger, and you go, and you bore your 2 fingers right into the eye of the creature, killing it as you pull out its eyeball. Then it just flips on its back and just floats in the water.
I better get a wah from that.
Oh. Wow.
With
Wow.
that, the encounter is over. The children
Whoa.
now was that
Children.
Worried about the kids.
the children that were like trying so scared managed to realize they're not going to be able to swim across to the other side and just cling onto the boat.
Okay.
And they start screaming for help because they're still freaking out on the boat.
I got this.
Okay, I'll let Ilya and Kara, since they're up there, what do you two want to do as you see the children still screaming for help? I mean, again, the river is not deep. You could literally walk through the river.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Kara's
I could do
jumping
that.
in then.
But I'm a Michael Phelps my way over there, right? Dunk my head under the water. And then when I arise, I'm going to have 2 kids on my arms. Like, yeah. Keep in mind, I still... Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kara is jumping in the water to go get them and grab some of the kids. So
Okay.
how many are there?
Okay, so since we're gonna have a little competition, both of you can roll an athletics roll. The one who rolls the highest gets there first and gets the credit.
I'm gonna be a little bit of... Do I still get my rage
advantage? I think
advantage?
he just beat you.
Do I still
yeah,
get my
of
rage
course.
advantage?
Yes. For strength rolls, yes.
Oh, it's a tie.
Hold on. Okay, so it's a tie. Each of you get a child.
Aren't there
no
3 in the
Dexter.
photo?
So you both dive in there, right? And thinking you're each gonna grab both of the children. Kara, you managed to grab one of them, and Ilya, you managed to grab one. You both come up out of the water with the children, and they're like so happy. You know, the girl's in Ilya's hand. She hugs you, scared of the water, and you know the other girl and the boy. The boy there holds on to you, Kara, and is like just so grateful that you saved them, right? Like here you are fighting the sea creature that's been harassing the fishing boats, the wolves that have been attacking the town, and you have ended all of this. And the villagers all kind of like encircle and literally like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom when he brings the stones. All the children come, all the villagers come and are literally lifting Kenshi, Ilya, and Kara in the air, unless you completely refuse to let them.
I'm still holding the child.
Right, and they're like all lifting you, and they bring you all to the center of the town. I need everyone to make a perception roll. Place your tokens anywhere you want around the fountain. In fact, please place your tokens around the fountain.
Ow, 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 ow.
Everyone's cheering. Everyone's in a very happy mood. Well, we have to show this. That was supposed to be the center of the market. And this was the dock, the inspiration for the dock. Sorry, I should have pumped that out. Okay. With that, also I didn't get a chance to show that. It's a shame. Okay, there's that. Okay. So done with that. What am I looking for? Okay, who rolled the highest perception?
That would be me, I
three.
think.
Who didn't roll? Someone didn't roll.
Oh, we're running
Richter
perception.
first.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Go ahead and make a perception roll. Okay. So, he's up in the air, and I'm gonna say that the two of you, so Richter and Milk, you notice a bird landing nearby, staring intently at the party, and it's propped here.
Where is it?
I'm about to show you. Give me 1 second. Ooh. right here.
I'm gonna divine smite it.
Mm. You say divine smited.
Yeah.
So the whole all the villagers are cheering. They're happy. The mood is at its peak. This bird lands nearby, staring intently at the party. Richter and Ilya, you're the only ones who kind of notice that this bird is sort of there, and it's kind of like it's acting very unusual. This is like a small hawk, or actually we'll say a small hawk, and it's propped up on a cart around these people, and it's acting unusual, right? It's not reacting at all, almost like it's observing and staring at you. Do you wish to say or do anything about that? As the townsfolk are all cheering and grabbing and pulling at you, and they're so happy that you're here to save them, and some are chanting, Knights Remnants are here to save the day. The stories are true. The legends are real. Believe the fucking hype. Everyone's goddamn, on the nuts, right?
Yeah.
What do you two do? The ones who notice it.
Me and Ken have already had our adventure, right?
Yes.
Okay. Richter's taking a hand axe and chucking it at the bird.
Okay. You reach for your hand axe, and as you're about to chuck the hand axe, you notice that there is something tied around the leg of the hawk.
Okay.
I'd like to
Never
run up and
mind.
smack the shit out of that bird.
Okay. Then I will approach the bird instead and take a look at this. Hand axe still in the other hand, but I will
Uh-huh.
take out the
I would, of
slip of paper.
course, notice this
Yes.
hesitation in murderous intent.
Okay. Tied around the hawk's leg is a rolled up piece of paper with a message expressing sorrow for the loss of life that has occurred when the dire wolf attacked. It explains issues among the grotto is I'm sorry, it explains the issues of the mine and how sacred ground has been invaded and that they were forced to have to use violence. They desire to find a new way to resolve them and realize that you are formidable opponents. The message provides a map to the location of the Druidic Grove in the forest with an invitation to parley.
All right, I'll pass that note around, then I'll kill the bird.
Roll to
I'm
slap
joking,
the
I don't
shit
kill
out
the
of
bird.
that bird.
I don't kill the bird.
Don't kill the bird. We can send a message back with it.
I'll just
Okay,
pass
the
this
the
note
the
over to Russell since he's the
spellcasters,
closest.
the spellcasters can realize that it is obviously not a familiar. It's just a trained animal, basically.
That's actually specifically why I asked if me and Ken had already had our adventure, because if
Oh,
during that adventure I assume we would have had experience with a familiar,
oh yeah, it's not a
but not
familiar.
during that adventure. Richter wouldn't
Yeah,
have any idea.
yeah, it's not a familiar.
Okay.
So, with that being said, they see you. You grab this little note, you're reading it, and you're like, oh, and then you realize that from the location of the map, it's pretty far. It's about a 2 to 3 hour trek,
What?
which is light activity, and you can take a short rest before going to the druid's grotto
Okay.
if you desire to do so.
Follow logic.
How about a long rest? What's to stop us from taking a long rest?
Nothing. You can take a long rest, and if you want to wait, the invitation is saying to meet before the lunar cycle, so before night, and it's already late afternoon. So you wouldn't get the benefits of the long rest if you're to make the parlay invitation.
And if we don't
But
make the parlay
you,
invitation,
you don't
we're
have to.
fine with doing violence.
You don't. Yeah. So that's up to you
Follow
as players. What do you want to do? You
follow
want to take a
By
long
logic.
the way,
rest
this
and then
dead
go there
commoner down
tactically
below
and go.
should be
Yeah,
alive.
correct. Hold on, let me switch them. I didn't switch them. Hold on.
Follow my logic. Yes, there is bird with letter saying we did not wish to use violent force, many casualties. But if we were not here, entire village would be gone, and there would be no bird to deliver message for parley. I think we are walking into ambush, and I'd rather wait here where we can gain advantage.
I mean, they're willing to break words. I think we should at least extend them that opportunity. I don't really think that we ought to. At this point, they have chosen violence, and we have shown that this town is capable of defending itself. They should maintain the rights to the mine because it's already been desecrated, I suppose. Well, we should return the bones of their dead to them.
Well, to be frank, I'm not quite sure if that will be possible. We don't even know if the mine is flooded or not.
All right, let's take an hour or two rest, just a wee bit. Get some information about the state of the mine and what the dwarves did with the bodies, and then we'll go see if a peaceful solution can be made. And if not, well, then we kill the buggers.
I like
First things
your
first.
plan.
First things first. Take out a pen and or a pencil, and I'll scribble on the back of the note. Learn to talk first, arseholes. And I tie that back on the hawk and shoo it away so it flies off.
and it flies off.
Right. Someone go talk to the mine, someone talk to the alderman. I'm beat, literally. So good afternoon. And
Hey, so we're gonna use the honor code system. Please roll your hit dice if you're taking a short rest. If you're using healing potion, go ahead and roll that. I'll take your word for it. Just roll it on the chat. I'm not gonna track it. Let's all try to keep our honest sake here. I think we're all trustworthy.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
and you can recover anything that you can recover from a short rest, obviously. Now um yeah. Okay. So that's really about it. So at this point, the villagers, if you want to gather information and you want to wait, the Edler makes his way back. Right. We all remember the slightly or the overweight Edler. I think. Right.
you mean O'Hare?
Edler Keaton, the one who's very nice and a little jittery and touching his nice Santa Claus of a gut, and he makes his way back, and he's heard the stories. Like, people are not, I want to stress that people are not leaving you alone. It's very difficult to take a nap if you're trying to do that other than resting. The kids who were saved are like near you and are impressed by you. The villagers whose lives you saved make it a point to come and approach you and thank you. I mean, they thank you with the bottoms of their heart, and they say, if you ever need anything, should you ever, you're always welcome in this village, right? Like, I'm not going to roleplay every little detail of it, other than the town is on a 10 on the likeness scale for you, for all of you, particularly the ones who went out of their way to rescue people who shoved healing potions, who are wasting magic spells to restore them. The villagers make it a point to remember what you look like, to ask for your true name, to spread stories. Those that are maybe one day going to be a bard are writing stories and tales of your great deeds and actions, right?
And there's a little
how
girl writing a fucking shit piece on Lorelai
yeah.
somewhere.
What a bitch, man. Like, I just want to give her my heart.
I don't know if you
And
guys saw, but I drew a little stick figure
yeah,
representation.
Yeah, the
I'm
little
gonna
girl's drawing.
yeah, I'm gonna make a magical item out of that thing. I swear. Again, um, and the Adler makes his way, and you're being fed. You're given the best fruit, the best food, right? You're taken back into your rooms where you were, so you're not outside, right? The Adler immediately tries to get the majority of the people away from you. He realizes that you need your rest. He's concerned. He knows that a bird landed, that you wrote a message. He doesn't know what you wrote, and he immediately makes his presence known to you. So you're now back in that one room, right? Your shared room that he made for you, and he's like, oh, he goes, so it seems that the dwarves managed to plug the sinkhole that was flooding the cavern. Lives were lost, but these brave souls did what was needed on their reputation as miners, and well, they are worth just every penny. And although it saddens me to see the lost lives, the mine was saved, and I wish to, if I have not done so, thank you for that. You were coin well spent. Your reputation precedes you all. But I do wonder, uh, There was a message that some of the villagers said came. Uh, do you wish to share anything with me? I can help with anything you need while you're here.
Yeah, your mind desecrated the Druidic burial ground, and that's why they don't much like you anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate. I was unaware of that. That just came to light. Had we known such things were done, we would have handled it differently. But that's far too late now. Lives have been taken, and we can't stand for this. The lives that are lost demand justice.
I
Don't you agree?
I have one question for you. Do you want me to bring that body, or should I leave it there?
He kind of looks over. Body? What are you talking about?
Do you want proof of death, or can I leave nothing left?
Uh, that's for the business of the Knights Remnant. What you do and what you were tasked to do is upon your lives. I just want them to stop attacking the town.
Well, do you happen to know where the remains of the people who were in that who were buried there are now?
I am unaware of any such bones. You'd have to speak to the dwarves and see what they did. I feel that they probably pulverized the bones for what resource they needed. I don't know of anything that has come out of the mine other than a few ore items that we were able to send off to the city of Yartar. I'm sorry, yeah, Yartar. That's right.
I speak Dwarvish. I can probably go look and talk to the dwarves and see where they put the bones.
Recommend you do so.
Then off
I
I
don't think
go.
anybody else speaks
Okay.
Dwarvish here, do we?
We'll say that he summons the door for you. You don't have to go looking for him. He's like, I'll get I'll get the supervisor. I'll get the man in charge. You can speak to him directly if you need to.
Excellent. Do you have any musicians in town?
We have a few people that are talented
Do
at singing and can operate a lute, perhaps.
can can they play Slavic Hardabis?
Um, I don't think so, but we can play a nice tune, or we have a poet that can rhyme out a few things for you.
I will accept this in my quarters while I take a nap.
Wonderful. I'll do all of this. Again, I can't stress how grateful I am in the name of Thornbrush that you are here. We would all be dead and we would have lost the mine had it not been for your endeavors and efforts.
You are quite welcome.
And he kind of looks at all of you as he hands you all a drink. He wants to hold a toast for all of you, and says, "If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to ask. It's quite horrible what's happened here, but it must be dealt with sooner than later."
This water tastes like shit.
Kara, do you have anything to say or anything you want to
No.
get across?
Nope.
Richter?
Just waiting for the dwarven supervisor to arrive.
Okay, Russell?
All you hear from Russell's helmet is a slight snoring.
Okay, and
Is
Kenshi.
outside playing tag with children.
Well, I'd get no benefit from a short rest other than the HP that the damage that I didn't take. So I guess I'd be out in the town, like trying to lend a hand wherever I could if there was like shit that got knocked over or whatever during the
Yeah,
attack.
very cool. The townsfolk really make it difficult for you to do any real physical work. When they see you picking up a log, they come and take it out of your hands. When you know what I mean? Like so they're like they're being no man, right? They're like no. And so yeah, you try, but they still like go out of their way to be super helpful and to help you to the point where it's almost dare I say annoying.
So then shit gets done. Could be worse.
Okay, with that, the dwarf who speaks very little common, very rough common, is sent in for you to speak to him. The other says, I'll leave you to speak to him. I have to excuse me, please. I have to tend to some of the damage and be rid of the the direwolves and the gator will do the best to make a feast of it. They can prove quite useful and feed the hamlet. So he kind of excuses himself. The dwarf sort of comes in and he goes, you've summoned me, and as I've said before, our clan is quite grateful for you to have uh, helped us with that foul creature. Uh, Never did like the fairy folk, the old ways, druids. As he spits on the ground.
But the bones that we talked about earlier. Where did you put them?
So, as well, we rid we we rid of them. We simply threw them down the sinkhole to be sunk into the ocean or the river. I'm sorry, into the river.
No, you see that is small problem because me and my comrades we are supposed to visit the druids with perhaps the bones of their comrades, and since I cannot have the bones, what are you going to do for me?
He goes, it wasn't one or three, it was many. He goes, chambers full of them. We just got rid of them. They were in the way. We didn't mean any harm. But what's done is done.
Perhaps I should give them your bones.
Go ahead.
Maybe we can sell the druids on the fact that their comrades and brethren will return to nature.
I translate.
Okay. He says, oh, I see. Well, we're a guild of honor, and we're willing to compensate for the damages if we've wronged them. Production would increase if we didn't have to worry and deal in guardians for the mine.
What are you willing to offer them?
1%.
For someone
To the meeting.
1% of the mine's earnings.
Would you be willing to accompany us to the meeting?
Oh no, I have far too much work as the foreman of this mine. I lost good men in there.
Was it your decision to dump the bones into the river?
He goes, well, in the end, it was mine, I guess.
Okay, great. Then I believe that you bear responsibility, and you should come to the meeting with us. And I'm making it clear that this is not a suggestion.
Oh, okay.
I will roll.
Listen.
Go ahead, make an intimidation.
He's not the only one.
Uh,
Listen, my friend.
Okay.
You are bearing the responsibility if these druids do not get what they want. Who do you think they will come for? Not the village people. The village people did nothing. It will be you, and we will not be there to stop them.
Okay. He gets the message, and he goes, look, fine. If you need dwarven hands there, it's dwarven hands you'll get. I'm not scared of a fight, and I'll be damned if I'm scared of the fairy folk of the old lands.
Let me make it clear. We are not there to initiate combat.
We are there to oversee negotiations. God damn it! Can you please?
Your imitation of me is
so
cute. I love it.
Down to you. Oh my god. All right. Well, listen. We're not there to go to start a fight. What I'm looking at it is you're an agent of your guild. They're going to send a representative of their tribe. Y'all are going to figure out how to make amends. And failing that, then yeah, unfortunately, we'll have to do some violence. But aside from that, hopefully y'all can work something out peaceful like, and we don't have to spill any more blood today.
I mean, you didn't give him much of a choice. He's not happy, but he's not frightened. If he looks at it as a business standpoint, you can clearly see that. No need to roll insight. You realize that if it means being in good terms with druids that are no longer going to attack him and make production easier to ore more gold, more silver, it's a win-win for everyone, and he's open-minded to the idea.
as I was meant to ask this when he offered the 1%, but Kara would like to ask what their actual profit is, what their actual production rate is, like an actual chart.
He says, he speak, in Dwarven. He speaks to them with him translating. He says, "Well, that's private affairs. It's private business. We get a
If it's
quarter
you're
earning.
giving,
We get a quarter earnings of all the mine's resources. The rest," he goes, "we take a quarter. 10% goes to your he calls it your guild, and 10% goes to tithe of taxes to the city of Yartar, and the rest goes to the hamlet. So the hamlet's only getting half of the earning of the mine."
55%. Yeah.
well, then I mean, Kara's not too interested in business, so she's just gonna let it go then.
With that, is there anything else?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're good to head to the meeting if the supervisor's coming with us.
Okay.
What's your name, man?
Um, we'll say that his name
And
is
this is the one that was wielding the fiery axe, right?
correct. His name is Grom.
Rom, it's a pleasure to meet you. I assume you. I'm Richter. My brother is Ren. He's out there. Looks like he's playing tag. Would everyone like to introduce themselves, or would you like me to do it for you? He'll look at the group.
You already know me.
Silent Ho.
Okay.
You do realize you may have to offer them more than 1%, but you got maybe 5% that you could offer them up to. So you got some room to negotiate.
So when you say that, he kind of takes a step back. He goes, he doesn't say anything, but he gives you a very strange look of like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Pull out the dwarf token.
If necessary. Just
Okay.
want them to be warmed up to the idea, because if the town is getting 55%, they could eat another 5% and only get 50 and not get attacked by druids.
Okay. So with this, can we safely say that you're going to make your way to the Druid's Grotto?
I
Yep.
believe so.
Okay, so you get there right at dusk, just as the sun is about to begin setting. So it's like that orange hue color, right? Right before the sun sets.
And his internet went out.
Uh-oh.
Powered
Right
on
as
Uh,
the
again.
sun sets, so does the internet.
Right as the sun sets, so does the dungeon master.
Let's take a
Soda
quick
break real quick.
break.
Yeah, let's break here.
And we'll see you when Romulus gets back.
Back when technical difficulties resolve.
Hi, I'm Lombot Goldstein, but you can call me Lombot. Well, I'm not having a panic attack about the ever-increasing stack of unfiled paperwork waiting in my office during my adventure. I'm dreaming of better days, spent in the Dungeon Divers Discord server. There, I could find fantastic stories, meet new people, make new friends, and share new and wonderful experiences, completely distracting me from my real-world duties and obligations. It's ruining my life. Anyways, they're running multiple games a week, every week, with experienced DMs and an active moderation team, so make sure you come by and check things out. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's free with Prime, and you'll no longer have to watch ads. It's a wonderful thing. Anyways, I've finished dissociating enough to do this advertisement, so I'm going to go finish some paperwork. Bye-bye!
All right. Hey, we're back. Sorry, I got disconnected there. Again, my internet's out, and I had to use my phone. So again, not a plug for Verizon, but my internet's working really well.
Not a
Okay?
sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Okay. So with this, the faithful group of the Knights Remnants have decided that they were going to do the best negotiating they could with the Druids at their own home base, the Druids' Grotto. Uh, the music that you're hearing now is inspiring of that as they make their way, and I'm about to describe the scene and then I'll show you a picture of the area. This large garden spans the entirety of the clearing, overtaking the space with beautiful, lush greenery. The air is fragrant with perfumed blooms. Stalks and vines emerge from the rich earth, snaking their way through the garden in search of water and sunlight. Simple fences of branches intended more for organization than to keep anything out divide each plot here. Even as you stand, you see animals enter the garden. They take their spoils and disappear with them into the wild. In addition to this beautiful sight, you see 4 enormous oak trees stretched out and resting on the ground before again reaching up high towards the sun. Each easily mistaken for a tree of its own, and perhaps it's home to something, for a dark hole in the trunk gapes open like doorways. As you enter the grove, you see 3 druids. You see the first one is a dwarven druid. And let me describe him to you because I just lost him by accident. And there we go. Right. You notice this dwarven druid is a wild-looking dwarf that stands stout and strong. His bark brown hair streaks with silver and braided with a vibrant green plant life. He leans on a gnarled staff of oak engraved with strange symbols wrapped in leather and topped with a sprig of holly mistletoe. Garbed in a well-worn leather armor, a vine rope belt laden with pouches of herbs, a knife, and a small sickle for harvesting shrubs, moss, and the like hangs loosely around his hips. He introduces himself and greets you in the old tongue, then switches to common and says in common with a dwarvish accent, "The name's Doran." And this is what he looks like. Then to the left so this is him here, in case we have any confusion. That is Doran. Then to the bottom left, on the opposite side of him, a female elf quickly moves through the underbrush, passing silently. Her nimble steps disturb neither animal nor plant as she sets in place and brings her long bow to bear. With graceful agility, she slides free. She pulls free an arrow and knocks it, drawing back on the bow, ready for anything, rather paranoid of your non-elven presence. She introduces herself with her bow, cocked, and says, "I'm Brightleaf." And that's what she looks like.
In Elvish, I will say, Brightleaf, do you mind putting the weapon down? None of us have ours out.
Yeah, I do not
When you
like
say
this.
when you say that, she kind of puts the bow down and she's almost embarrassed, right? She's surprised to hear that you speak Elvish. And then directly to the
Move my
front.
longer hair out to show my slightly pointed ears.
My ears are
And,
pointed.
on the other side, directly to the front, the very person you were warned about. the leader of the Druid's Grotto. This individual is a sliver of the. You can barely notice him as a sliver of the landscape begins to move just ahead of you. You realize that someone has been there all along, standing so still, so blended into his environment. He's almost invisible at a glance. He's dressed in feathers, furs, and twigs, and uses it as cloth. The figure turns deeply over to you with a hooded face towards your direction. You're making up your mind about what to say or do when tiny insects fly out of his hood when he lowers his hood and they soar away. And this is what he looks like. As he introduces himself in common, and you notice a human druid, and he introduces himself as Wolfsbane.
The heads up, Kyle redeemed a group.
he
That's
sort of
Kyle,
pushes.
who's that guy today?
Yep.
He sort of pushes forward. I need everyone to make a perception roll.
I only rolled
Roll.
bad on that.
23. I finally rolled high on something.
Ah. So Russell, I'll leave, I'm going to take some liberty here. You can role play it. You notice that the ground around you doesn't seem quite right. It's almost as if it's reacting to every step you make. Being an arcanist or an arcane user, make an arcana roll.
Okay.
And you realize that you've stepped to the center of a spike growth spell.
Well, that's not neighborly at all.
I'll
Fellas, move
explain.
to the side.
I'll explain that to you in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
So it makes sense. Okay. So spike growth. In game terms, it is a 20-foot radius centered at a point, which is where you're at, where it twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns on the ground. All area becomes difficult terrain for its duration. Any creature that moves within this area takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time of the spell must make a wisdom perception roll, which you did, against the DC save of recognizing the hazardous before entering the area. The only ones who noticed it was Barkid, and that's it. No one else rolled higher than his DC for the spell. So I'm going to physically show it to you just in player terms.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on, wrong one. Grab the wrong one. Sorry.
So the spell is already cast. If we
Yes.
move, we take damage.
Yep, I'm about to show it to you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
That is the range of the spell.
No.
It's already cast. You guys all see the square, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And
That
that's
is
2d4 per 10 feet or per 5 feet?
per square that you move.
Ooh. That's good.
Okay. Okay. Now, the characters with the passive perception. Hold on. Kara notices it. Hold on. Let me see who. Okay. It's too much for me to handle. What's everyone's passive perception?
14.
It just
12.
okay. Who has more higher than a 15?
15.
Kara is the only one. Is that right? You know what? I'll just use your perception rolls. Actually, makes more sense. So hold on. So again, only Kara and Barkid, Barsid. You both also realize moving intently near the bushes are these creatures. place. Why did I put him there? Hold on. Let me move him. So, let me describe those things to you. Now, I'll let you role play. You two. This is Russell and Kara. That you notice these creatures. If you want to share it to the party, go ahead and do so now, while role playing that, whispering, screaming it, whatever you decide. You guys
Watch
hear
your
me?
feet. I'd whisper.
Okay.
Watch your feet on the surrounds. They've creatures of some sort out there, and there's spikes beneath their feet. And then out loud, I'd say to Wolfsbane, "This is hardly the welcome for a parley."
When you say that, he simply responds with, "They're just precautions. Precautions. In the event that you decide to force your will upon all that is grand in this world." With that, the description of the blights. In the shadows of the forest, needle blights might be taken at a distance for shuffling, hunched humanoids. But up close, those creatures reveal themselves as horrid plants who conifer like needles that grow across the bodies in quivering clumps of thorns.
Cut now.
A needle blight lashes out with its needles or launches them as an aerial assault that can punch through armor and flesh. Looking just like this. Okay, so at this point, um, you guys can all decide what you want to do. I'm just going to keep order, but it's all happening at once, right? The dwarfs is holding the great axe. He's there, but Russell said what he says. Wolfsbane says what he says. I'm going to give a reaction if anyone does anyone want to volunteer to go first, or am I going to go from left to right here?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Can we still walk, or if we walk at this point, will we be taking damage?
If you walk, right, so the spell's activated, and if you walk more than 5 feet, you will take damage. So it's almost like he wanted you to discover it. So when he kind of shares, "Hey, look to the ground," he tells you, "I've taken precautions," and you see the grass kind of quiver underneath you, and you realize that there's like these thorns and things around. There's no need for you to walk around.
But we
Right.
can move 5 feet at a time.
No, you will take damage for every 5 feet you move.
Okay.
So if you move 1 square, you'll take 2d4 damage.
Okay.
And the dwarf is with us, correct?
Yeah, he's there. He's
Okay.
in the
Yep,
map.
yep,
Look,
yep.
there he is,
All
right there. Brom.
I can say this to every single one. Like I can say this to Wolfsbane, Brightleaf, and Doran because I speak Common, Elven, Dwarven. So I say, we mean no harm. We just want to negotiate.
That's why we agreed to your letter. And that's actually why we brought the supervisor of the mine to see if amends could be made somehow.
Brightleaf responds in a very kind and beautiful voice. And she says, and she kind of gets a sad face on her. Her bow, she no longer has like the arrow cocked. She kind of holds the arrow in one hand, the bow in another. And she goes, "It was unfortunate. I never meant for I never meant for my pets to cause any harm. I've had them since they were tiny, and I've fed them and cared for them. And please know that some of us, and she kind of looks almost with spite at Wolfsbane, to cause harm to others. We are wardens of this forest, and I didn't know what to do. But
Well-
I am part of an order that must push the agenda of the Emerald Enclave. And what that village did is unacceptable.
And did you bother to inform the village of this at any point in time? You send a
We
representative to speak with them, tell them what was going on, why there were problems.
And that's when Wolfsbane interrupts her. She's about to say something. Wolfsbane kind of like interrupts and says, "We've attempted on several occasions to say something to the Edler, but he continued to send things that are laws not recognized by the city of Yartar. That the law of man goes above the laws of humanity and nature itself."
Well, your laws are
Really?
restricted to this forest, aren't they?
I
That's what he said.
I find
That's
that
what he
hard to
says.
believe because the Adler he knew nothing of the desecration of the bodies.
Then he lies to you. He only speaks in half truths. We have attempted several times to warn him. We left banners. We raised the.
He actually talked to us about that. He has no idea what those banners meant.
I have
And
traveled many places, my friend. I've seen many people, men who are like what you were describing, liars. But this man, the Adler, he was not one of them. This man knows nothing. I think you are a liar.
He takes a step back.
So you
Okay, so
calm
you got
down
to
a
hold
bit.
on.
We're
I want
here
to. I want to give everyone a chance. You say that. Go ahead. Out there. You want to respond to him like when he says you're a liar. What do you say to that?
Richter's just saying, Ilya, calm down. We're here for diplomatic ties at the moment, and hopefully
Right.
it remains that way.
I'll give everyone a chance. Again, you're all speaking in unison. Russell, if anything at all.
Eddie. So your main complaint then with the village is the desecration of the tomb where their mine is now. Yes, that is your main grievance.
It is.
Alright. Aye. Not simply the Adler, none of the villagers had any information about that. The dwarves came across the bodies, thought it was a long since ceased to be used burial site, and disposed of them cleanly as is their way by placing them by disposing of them in the water and down to the river. So, if you've any grievance, it's with the dwarves and not the village. And if you'd bothered to communicate like a fucking adult, you'd have figured that out. Sorry,
Oh man,
I'll mind my temper.
We are just really pushing the boundaries here, ain't we? Richter,
He says. He says
rubbing a temple.
their ignorance and knowledge and lack of knowledge in the old ways is not an excuse to their stupidity. I've been called a liar, and now you threaten me and my friends in my own home.
Oh, who threatened anyone?
No threats have been made.
We're simply saying there's a failure to communicate on both sides. The dwarves probably should have mentioned to someone, "Hey, we found some bodies. What should we do with them?"
The dwarf immediately kind of tugs in between both of you. And he speaks in rough common. I can speak for myself. He goes, "We did no wrong. We had a writ given to us by Yarter among the Sword Coast from the Lords of the Water Deep. It is our property, and we will not give it up."
Can
I
I?
reckon everyone needs
But
to
it's
take
not
a
your
deep
property.
breath.
You're leasing it from the village.
Hold on.
Take a deep breath.
Okay, yeah, he's like, take a deep breath. Kara, do you have anything to say? Or add?
Arcanine just is indifferent to the situation. She doesn't know much about the druids or the nor does she care.
Kenshi.
I have two things to say.
Let me hear it.
First of all, Wolfsbane, is it not more likely that somebody who doesn't know your ways doesn't understand what the proper thing is to do, and basically, yeah, they are just stupid. They didn't do anything out of spite or malice. They just don't know any better. Isn't that more likely that that's the case? Also, I'd like to point out that your grievance then is with these dwarves and not with the Knights Remnant or with the
town.
township.
Okay.
Okay, so if
Ooh,
you could
okay.
just turn off these thorns, we can get out of the way, and you two can talk this out face to face, like adults.
Make a persuasion roll. I'm going to give you a +2 because you make very good points.
Ooh,
Holy
buddy.
shit!
Nice.
Round of applause.
Okay. He
Kenichi
says,
Silver Tongue strikes again.
right? He looks and he says, "Your words strike hard." And
No
the
offense
dwarf,
intended.
right? The dwarf looks at you, and the dwarf looks at Kenshi and says, "And how the fuck do you propose us to settle it?"
I'm sure we can work something out. Just relax, all right?
Doran, then the dwarven druid, says, "I had that diamond in my family for generations. My poor pets, given to me as a defender and guardian of my people, gone. It took life. It destroyed things. What came of the yellow diamond of my heirloom, of my family?"
Oh, I've got that here. Now, to be fair, your bloody golem killed several of the miners, and those magmen. Did you send those things in there with it?
It was magic beyond my understanding. I simply summoned the earth elemental. What came of it was just a byproduct of its summoning.
Alright, be more bloody careful with that thing, laddie. It summoned fire elementals along with it. If you'd have done that, in your forest, you'd have burned the place down, not protected it. Be a wee bit more careful. Magic's dangerous.
he,
But
he says, "Don't go lecturing me about the natures and laws of magic. It followed its command, which was to end any and all things within that mind."
well, okay, that's a wee bit irresponsible. I'm not convinced about giving you back the jewel now. That's whew. Boy, oh, if Arcanist Sarn had a student say things like that to him, he'd have set the lad to cleaning, chamber pots with a toothbrush. Whew.
Russell, it's not our job. It's
I'm just saying, as any student of magic should know, responsibility is the key to the whole thing. Otherwise, you got black wizards coming out your arse.
Russell, I agree with you.
Yeah, Eddie. Look, Mr. Doran, is it? I'm Russell McLean. I'm an artificer, so I dabble with these sorts of things as well. I understand this is an heirloom of yours. Um, Here, have the gem back. Just be more careful, for goodness sake. Look, if you summon one thing and get 50 other things along with it, that's a bloody problem.
Do you give him the diamond?
Well, I mean, is Spycrow still up?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just have to throw it at him.
Maybe,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
until
you
they.
could throw. You could
Like-
toss it at him. Yeah.
Well, I'd rather get the spikes.
Yeah. Can we have a little gesture of goodwill here?
I'll
that-
yes.
Okay.
Do you mind turning the spikes off so I can give the man back his jewel?
And when Kenshi also says that, because of his awesome 20, you bring shame to the wood elf, and the wood elf disperses the spike growth.
Thank you very kindly, miss.
I appreciate this gesture of kindness.
And I will walk over to Doran and hand him back his jewel.
He looks at you, and then he looks sternly at Wolfsbane, and he says, "These are the murderous scum that you speak of? said that they belong to an organization which brings only harm, Wolfsbane, I failed to see that. And then Brightleaf is also kind of like a little ashamed. And he says, and I will not be a part of this. He looks at Russell and he says, thank you. This has been in my family for generations. He takes his cloak off and hands it to you. To give, do what you must with it. It is my redemption for the lost lives in the mine. And he does stone to meld and just melds into the rock in the ground, disappearing.
Brightleaf, I reckon you should know that your children did not harm anyone in the village permanently. We were able to administer medical care, but unfortunately, your wolves are no more.
But they did not suffer.
They did
Oh,
not.
her pets were the gators.
Neither did the
He didn't suffer
crocodiles.
either.
They also did not.
They
suffer.
went down
They
quite
also did not.
quickly. I don't
They
say
were
this,
also
of
very
course. That's
tasty.
very
No, we don't say that.
insensitive. It's very insensitive.
When you say that about her pets, she goes, oh, it's unfortunate. She goes, I've had them since... Oh. And she looks at Wolfsbane. She goes, they come here to reason. Is there some compromise here? Wolfsbane, there must be. And Wolfsbane stands true, and he's got this look, a zealot look to him. And he says, so, what will the dwarfs give for compensation of our burial site, of grounds that were taken against our will? And the dwarf's like, right, he's not a very good negotiator, and he just says, ah, fuck. We'll give you 5% of the mine.
I lean over to Grom and whisper, I would have started with 3.
Don't tell a dwarf how to negotiate.
At that point, I put both my hands up and I back off.
Small point of order. Small point of order, if I may, Mr. Wolfsbane.
Uh-huh.
We, the Knights of Remnant, were sent to represent the village. They are our primary interest, and if your attacks are going to be halted there, well, I believe, have no more business and may be at peace. For your own edification, the village elder did say that they only looked into alternate revenue streams like the mine when the druids stopped coming and assisting with their crops. They had a few bad years and so had to look for other sources of income. So if you do not want more mines being opened, you might go back to giving them a wee hand. But other than that, we'll leave you and Mr. Grom here. I'll pat the dwarf on the shoulder to discuss things. Back to the village, folks.
I recommend that we stay here and ensure that peaceful negotiations take place.
We are supposed to make sure that the negotiation, actually gets somewhere.
Alright. My compatriots are a wee bit more.
Wolfsbane then responds again. He says, you insult me with money. Reparations must be made. The mine will be abandoned. And he looks at Brightleaf. And I can assume responsibility for plentiful fauna and flora in the land of Thornbrush. They'll never need to hunt, gather, or worry for harsh weather and crops while while this order lives and exists. The dwarf goes, absolutely fucking unacceptable. We have a contract and we mean to get paid.
My friend, these druids mean business. They do not want
And
your
the
money.
fucking dwarf doesn't.
There are many mines.
laws of dwarves and men are important, just as the laws of the earth are important. The thing
There
is,
are
we've
there
got
are
two
many
people
holes in
who-
the ground.
We've got two people here who subscribe to different beliefs about which laws to follow. So, is there anything else you would prefer, Wolfsbane? Thing is, now there's politics involved in this mine. It's going to be hard to get it out. People know about it. If it's not the dwarves, it's going to be somebody else trying to dig out. So, you can either make a deal with the dwarves, or you can try your hand with whoever comes next. And I guarantee you, whoever comes next is going to be a lot better armed than they were.
If
Make
I
a
may be so bold,
okay, make a
Wolfsbane,
persuasion roll. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kenji.
and I'm supposed to, shouldn't I wait and see what happens to his persuasion roll?
I
Okay.
was going to say,
Well, if what
is
you
there
say is
anyone
good,
giving
you
me the
make it
help
good.
action on this, or is it just me?
I mean, I have persuasion.
I'd like to walk forward very gingerly with my hands up, making it very clear that I mean no harm.
Okay.
Just approaching slightly closer. Say, I don't know what beliefs exactly you subscribe to, but I can promise you one thing about my comrades. They are honorable men and women. When they say that the next people will be even more powerful than the dwarves, they are telling the truth. You do not know what power the citizens of Yartar hold. That mine will be inhabited by one person or another.
Okay, that's the assist. You can roll with advantage. Okay. So you see his brain is racking, right? Like he's contemplating and he believes what you say to be true, that man will encroach on his land, will continue to come, right? They know it's there and they're just going to keep coming, and if you don't meet a compromise, they're just going to keep coming until you get overwhelmed. So you've got him thinking. He takes it seriously. He kind of, does one of these. Now, Kenshi, what did you want to say?
I'm going to follow suit with what Ilya did, approach very, very non-threateningly and say, you see, Wolfsbane, you're not selling out for money. First of all, you're selling out for a shitload of money, and the amount that you can do for flora and fauna conservation with all of that money is a whole lot. Besides, I'm sure that you're not the head of the Emerald Enclave, right? Anyone above you is going to look upon this interaction and realize what kind of weight your organization is gaining as a result, and they're going to look favorably upon this. You shouldn't throw this away quite so quickly. Now, I'm sure that the village doesn't want to see wildlife being destroyed, right? So immediately, I'm sure that you and they can come to some kind of accord. And beyond that, basically, you'll stay out of each other's way from now on, right?
Additionally, I had thought, what if permanently you have a member of your organization posted within the mine to perhaps see and check and make sure that nothing like this happens again?
Hey, go ahead and make a persuasion roll. I'll give you advantage for the assist from from Milk.
So Ken's making the persuasion?
Correct.
Probably a good call.
Boom.
Woohoo.
Okay. He says, a, a reservation? An allotted amount of
Well,
land
you
that
could
cannot be
purchase-
interrupted and to stay pure to nature, working in unison with the hamlet?
Aye.
Doesn't sound
Saved
unreasonable to
by
me.
your laws and that of Yartar.
Use the gold to purchase the land. then
Naturally-
then encroach on it.
Naturally, if it is part of the hamlet, it is also protected by Yartar from outsiders.
Aye. So say some orc horde comes through barning and pillaging someday, well, they'll have to put a stop to that now, won't they? With druid help, of course, but it's a bit easier to take out a horde when you've got meat shields of your own now, isn't it?
Bright Leaf immediately throws in her 2 cents. That sounds wonderful. Wolfsbane, please. They speak true words. This is the time to make a difference. They've shown a gesture. You should do the same. Please, don't let it come to violence. Have enough lives not been lost? Wolfsbane kind of grunts. Fine. We can come to a negotiation at a later date. We promise no more lives will be taken. We'll take the 5% and we'll negotiate lands and properties to be distributed evenly with emissaries from Yartar. Agreed?
Agreed.
I like this,
Russell is very carefully not mentioning that none of us have the authority to make binding agreements on that scale, but he nods.
Grom, does that sound good to you? Is
Grom
that
kind
something
of
you can ensure
he
will take
goes,
place?
I get to dig in the mine, I get more gold, I get more silver, and I don't have to walk into the fairy lands of the woods. That's a fucking deal.
It seems
All
we have
right.
come to an accord.
Monsieur Harashot, Tavarishi. Wait, no, that's not my character. Dang it!
It's infectious, isn't it?
It bloody well is. Ugh.
The
I need to add that as a feat, just infectious voice.
Infectious accent.
Yeah.
With that, Wolfsbane kind of like waves his hands, and you see the needle blights blend and kind of fall back into the grass and disperse. He looks upon you all and says, Today is a good day. No more lives need to be taken, and I believe our point has been taken across. All we ever wished was for there to be an understanding and respect for the powers that be, and that Mother Nature and all she has to offer goes to all among the land. And let this be an accord, a remembrance of nature and its understanding. You have made an ally today. Thank you, and may you have safe travels. And you see him shape change into a raven, and he flies off.
Once he's well earshot. Well, we didn't ask you to preach, you fucking hippie, but alright then.
Betray.
Starts
Betray
kicking
him in the chat.
everything. Burns down the whole forest.
Brightleaf
Y'all,
looks.
everyone take a deep breath.
We got that firebomb. We got the hand grenade.
I know. Luckily, I
Brightleaf,
did not need it today.
Brightleaf
Okay.
looks at all of you and says, "I'm so sorry for him. He's just, well, you know, he's just,
A
he's been
pretentious
fighting."
dick.
He's like
She says,
Babushka.
No, he's been fighting so long, he's forgotten. But you should be careful. Civilization has continued to encroach upon the deep forest, and it's not good. We only hope that your organization bids as well as it does in the future. You have represented
Likewise.
the Knight Remnant well. And with that, I give, and with that, I depart. She goes, please enjoy this beautiful sight and stay as long as you wish. And she basically just kind of shape changes, and you see her shape change into a small, probably like a squirrel, and goes off into the woods.
And we hear a hawk screech in the distance.
That's awful.
All right. Well, first things first. I guess we're gonna go loot these chests.
Hey, look, I left this here. And so we're coming up at 11:48, and with that, so there were two options here. There was the options of violence, which I was prepared to do a great combat encounter with 3 druids shape changing and needle blights attacking you, or a peaceful negotiation and relations between the Knights Remnant, the Hamlet, the Dwarves Guild, and the Druids Grotto, which all will make sense at a later date, of course, on an adventure that I will be running. Congratulations, as you have finished the first 3-part adventure of the Knights Remnant, Tales of the Past, the Ruin, or should I say, the success of Thornbrush.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Huzzah!
heroes.
Huzzah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Can we hear it one time for the Dungeon Master?
Yes,
Oh,
give it up for Romulus.
Well done,
Excellent
sir.
work.
Yes,
Well
indeed.
done, sir.
Excellent.
Are we off yet?
No. Do you want to end now?
Well, I just want to say, I
I'm
hope
so
you guys
fucking
all.
tired of smiling.
I hope
I'm
I
so-
hope you guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Not just the players, but anyone who's viewing it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was all done in a short notice. I jumped on this really quickly due to the way things went down. And let me tell you, as a GM, I had a great time. It was a pleasure having you all as players. I hope we can do this again. I'm sure we will do this again. And anyone who's interested, I'm going to be running a campaign very soon on here, and I hope anyone who's interested wants to join. And I will still continue to do one shots and mini adventures between mini campaigns between all that, dealing with the Knights Remnant, their tales in the past. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so join our Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you follow the YouTube channel, you can find our posted VODs there.
We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, you know that?
We do. Dungeon
Yes,
Yes,
Divers.
we have a
about
YouTube
that.
channel.
That's news to me.
Oh my!
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
where you can watch all the archived videos because Twitch only holds them for a certain amount of time,
Yeah,
right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any comments or whatever, some of us might probably still be hanging around afterwards. You're welcome to join us in the guild hall
In the guild hall.
and
Yeah.
have a
Hall
nice
chat.
conversation with us about anything in the adventure. What was good, what was bad. I'm open to feedback and how the players did. I think they did excellent. And I will be creating story awards for all the players. If you play this character again in any of my adventures or anything that I run, you will maintain story awards that can be carried over through any game that I play.
Yep.
What
Cool.
did we
Use my
actually get
inspiration.
through here?
I think
The
that just
st-
applies to Kara and Ilya here.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, I will provide the story awards at a later date. The story awards are going to be like little points that you get that you can use, like that can grant advantage
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
that can give you an ability to do something. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like make a surprise ambush on your own party.
Yeah, things like that. It'll make sense when I post it all. Don't worry about it.
All right, but I think that's it. So we'll see you guys in guild hall in a little bit.